On Sister Soldiers Hub, we're going to be talking more than just music. We're talking about ownership today. Because over the years, not just in Antigua, but across the sound system culture, we've seen it happen again and again and again. Fallouts between owners and members, team splitting, and in some cases, entire brands being divided or redefined. And this most recent situation even hitting close to home within my own network, it is actually what pushed me to create my ebook, Don't Lose Your Sound, an owner's guide to intellectual property. Now, even though I curated this ebook specifically for the sound system culture, because we're directly a part of it and it's a space where ownership isn't always taken seriously, this is something that applies to any business, any brand, or any idea. Because at the end of the day, if you're building something and you're not protecting it, you can lose it. And also, I believe that across the Caribbean and the wider region, we need to start talking intellectual property and our rights, intellectual property and our rights a lot more seriously. So today, I'm sitting down with the founder of Brave Star Sound, a sound that has been around since 1994. And we're going to talk a little bit about legacy, leadership, and what happens when ownership isn't clearly protected. So, guys, I'm very nervous. This is the first time I have a camera pointing straight in my face. So bear with me. But yeah, we're just here to talk about ownership and bring to light some, serious situations that happen within the sound culture. And not even just here in Antigua. We've seen it over the years. We see so many incidents where sounds and their members are at odds and people end up splitting, things getting taken that not supposed to be getting taken, stuff like that. So we're just gonna chill, talk to the owner of Brave Star Sound, and we'll get some background from the song. And yeah, you just have a nice conversation, ask some questions about what's going on. So before we jump to our guest, first, introduce yourself. Who are you and where are you from?
One and only Troy Henry, aka Plucky Digital, Brave Star Sound.
What's up? How are you doing today?
Well, me there in a
All right.
place, in a my place.
Good. So this year, relax. I'm a bit nervous, so
Me too. Some man like
um
that thing and picture thing.
I know it's like right in our face, but it really is a serious conversation and it needs to be had. I can't tell you how I got here really quickly, even when I thought about making the book and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, like it just took a conversation to happen and just the feedback and just the energy to see like, yo, a lot of people really don't know what's going on the business side of things when it comes to ownership. And unfortunately, I made that realization and you were involved in that situation. So I said, you know what, Plucky, we need to sit. We need to have a conversation. I've talked to people about it behind the scenes, the feedback. Most of the feedback, I can tell you, it's split. And what I've realized with this split, most of the people who get it are people who actually own stuff, people who own sound systems, people who have their own businesses. So, like I said, it doesn't only apply to the sound system culture, but I'm telling you, there is a grave difference in the perception of what is right, what is wrong, facts versus opinions. And you really see the difference when you're talking to somebody who actually owns something versus somebody who's just looking in or perhaps became a part of something long after it was established. So we're here to talk some facts today and we're here to clear the air. So let's get some more background information from you. What led you to start Brave Star Sound back in 1994?
Well, we don't know. When a cassette kid, late 80s, start listening to some cassette, hear about Stone Love, Body Yard, Super D, Super, all these bats, you know the sound them. You know what I mean? You start to get to realize, like, yeah, I hear some custom songs. Like, yo, what's this dubplate thing? You know what I mean? Like, you know a song, right? But you're hearing it customized, calling Stone Love's name or Bodyguard's name, right? And them times you're still learning to get to know reggae itself and
How
dance.
old were you at this time?
Well, 1989, that would make me what, 11?
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm
So you
old.
were exposed to it at 11.
Yeah,
Okay.
And I mean, even before then, growing up, going to parties, with your parents here in Canada,
Mhm.
Toronto, the basement party era.
Mhm.
Sometimes, we weren't in the basement that time, right? We were
Mhm.
upstairs in the room where the kids were supposed to be, right?
Okay, so how did you get access to these cassettes? That's my next question.
Well,
You're just 11.
well, I mean, listening on the radio. Sometimes they used to play the cassettes on the radio too. Well,
Okay.
listening on the radio was me getting familiar with the music at first,
Okay.
right? But years later, middle school is where it really started,
Mhm.
right? Started
And
listening to
friends at school too probably influenced
yeah,
the
yeah.
movement as well.
Most of the
Yeah.
schools that I went to,
Mhm.
some of the best and the greatest soundmen from Toronto went to those same schools.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went to Smithfield Middle School in Etobicoke.
Nice. It's crazy how, like, I've been doing this for the past 20 years, how
Mhm.
every little pocket of where dance or reggae sound system culture exists, they have their own little thing going.
Yeah.
And I went out just last night here in Maryland. I've been to sound clashes before, and
Mhm.
it just cemented more in me like, yo, every area is so it's is have their own little vibe going,
Yeah.
and it's not the same everywhere, but it's the same music. But that's the best way I can explain it.
It's
And
just
you just have a different appreciation for it when you go to different places that actually, dabble in the culture. And just
yeah.
hearing you talk about how, used to hear it on the radio, like for me, I had to like take up my brother's CDs, their cassettes, and then go exploring on my own. But to hear that stuff was on the radio, like
Yeah.
that's kind of cool.
Well, to correct myself, right? When I
Mhm.
was talking about hearing the music on hearing cassettes on the radio, I wasn't
Mhm.
necessarily talking about the cassettes, just more the music, right?
Okay. Oh, okay,
The
okay.
cassettes was later
But
on after
still, like
music.
that means that you were still hearing like reggae, dancehall
Oh yeah,
on the radio. That's a
on the
huge
radio.
deal. Like in that time in Toronto, that is a huge
Well, in
deal.
the late '80s, going into the '90s,
Yeah,
it was a big
that's a
fight
huge.
for black music to get on the radio. So you have underground stations or community stations like CKLN,
Okay.
CIUT. Those are the only stations that really played our music.
Okay,
So
but
those are
that's
the
good
stations that
still.
we used to listen to,
And
right?
in the irony of it all, that's what sound system was back in the day.
Yeah,
Like
pirate
it
radio.
was, yeah, it was that place where you could see your peers, hear your peers' music, share certain messaging, and not being like restricted by actual radio. So like full circle moment, and also still kind of and capture um also capturing the essence of sound system and being able to share our music on certain platforms. So that's kind of cool. So yes, going on to what started the song. So you're 11, you're being exposed to all of this music, you're now hearing like cassettes, getting into like what dub plates are, hearing custom songs.
Yeah.
What happens? Like why in 1994? Like what
Well,
happened? What started the
like I
song?
said, in
Yeah,
school prior to 1994, moving on
yeah.
from middle school, and I ended up going to a school named NACI, North Albion Collegiate Institute, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's this guy there named Desmond, and I used to be on the basketball team. And Desmond is
Mm-hmm.
now an MC, right? He MCs
Mm-hmm.
with Dr. J. They call him Dirty Des. You've probably heard of Dirty Des, right?
Okay.
This guy used to bring all the cassettes to school on the bus trips when we're going to our basketball games, right? And we're just hearing all of these cassettes, Inner City, like I said, Super D, all these clashes. So that's when we
And
got.
these were local clashes in Toronto,
No, not
Canada.
these are cassettes from
Cassettes
Jamaica.
from Jamaica. Oh, okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
he always had those cassettes, and we was listening to those cassettes. Me and my little circle of friends too we also were listening to our cassettes, but he had like the best of the best.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, like I said, a lot of sound men went to that high school, and I mean,
Mm,
my name's Plucky Digital. I'm musical like that. I used to also play bass and steel band, right?
nice. So
So
I can really I played the steel pan and the piano as well.
yes, so
I
I
was a
mean,
double tremor girl.
okay,
Double tenor, sorry. Yeah.
I mean, going to Naki now, right, and with my little circle of friends, that's where I really started getting this inspiration. Like, yo, I like what's going on. I like this clash thing. You know what I'm saying? And I eventually moved back to the neighborhood that I originally lived in when I migrated to Canada, which is Parkdale. So I moved from Rexdale back to Parkdale, right?
Okay.
So that's when I left one set of musical friends and I had to start making some newer friends, not forgetting my old friends, right?
Okay.
And there was a situation where we used to hang out at this community center, right? And there was going to be a party at the community center, but we had no DJ, right? So it was a youth group. We were a part of a youth group. So me and my circle of friends now, Freshy, Dizzy, right? And these are original members of the sound now I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Cousin, right? Ghost, rest in peace, Ghost, right? Lee, that's my cousin, right? Me and him, Freshy and Dizzy. 2 weeks after Caravana 1994, right? We said we're gonna play the party. We didn't have no musical, no equipment, no records, nothing. I had this idea in my head, right, that aligned with what was going on now. So I said, yo, sound I'm gonna name Brave Star. You know,
Just so.
just so.
The
Because
son of the name Brave
I
Star.
was coming with this idea from Rexdale, right?
Mm.
So presented it to them, they're like, yo, we're gonna do this party.
But how okay. That's pretty brave because you have no idea what you're
Brave
gonna do
Star.
or how you're gonna figure it out, but we're gonna do it.
Yeah. And you know, I gotta big
I
up one
mean,
more person
that's the
still.
attitude to have. Like
The
that's very,
reason the
very
reason why we
important.
were able to do it, I gotta big up one more person still.
Mm-hmm.
Like I cannot leave him out. Quick.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the original members of the song, and he was also a DJ. And he was
Okay.
DJing before us. And he had an uncle, right, that had Serwin Vega speakers,
Mm-hmm.
Technique 1200 turntables, music, the whole nine.
Mm-hmm.
He had it set from the jump. So all we had to do was get quick to get his uncle to bring the equipment to the community center. And we had a shoes box full of 45s,
Mm-hmm.
some borrowed records, maybe some stolen records from your parents at home, right? And that's what we stepped out with,
Yeah.
right? And
Nice.
the few little records within the 2 weeks from making the decision, went to the record shop and got what we had to get, and we made use of it.
Nice.
And that was Brave Star. That was the first party we ever did
So the uncle would continue to lend you his set when you all got
when we
dates?
needed it. Yes.
Okay. Nice. Were
You
you
know.
guys charging then? I'm a business.
Well,
I'm gonna ask that.
from the jump, the
Just
community center,
curious.
from
Well,
that,
that's community work, so I didn't
yes,
expect
we
that.
weren't really watching that. We're in the game
Yeah.
now, right?
And you're all young and excited
We
and
turned entrepreneurs right then and
yeah,
there,
got you.
right? Got our other friend, which is a DJ also, but he was an artist. He drew up the flyer. Just got a little breakdancing man on the flyer, put the information on the
And
flyer.
how old are you this time now? Sorry for cutting you.
Well, one of my dub plays can tell you, 1994, that would make me 16
Okay. Wow.
at the age of 16.
Long time, dog.
Long time.
Wow.
So moving forward now, like I said, we're now young entrepreneurs,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we lived in the west end of Toronto,
Mm-hmm.
right? We used to play with other songs like Merciless, Exclusive, right? Black Supreme, Uno Productions, right? That's Jason, and Jason, right?
Mhm.
Got us in a little circuit, you know. And then at that time, I was going to a high school named Central Tech, which was
Okay.
another high school that had nothing but musical talent, a lot of DJs and a lot of soundmen, right? So, you know, in the west end of Toronto, we had our little party circuit going. We would put on our own little parties as well in the neighborhood of Parkdale, right? Because we were the musical generals now in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Wherever we strung up was the highlight of the neighborhood then.
Okay.
You know what I
So,
mean?
question. When did it really like dawn on you like, yo, because you did mention, y'all are doing your thing, y'all entrepreneurs now, and y'all playing here, there, and everywhere with everybody. But did you really realize what you were doing at the time was like just actually building your own little thing and putting, branding Brave Star at that point? Like, did it occur to you, or you were just going with the flow? Me and my dog, them all just build this song and play music and meet people. Like, did it dawn on you then? And when did it actually, if not, when did it actually occur to you like, yo, I'll do this thing for real? Like, yeah.
Well, when it actually dawned on me is like from early.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I told you, I went to Central Tech,
Mm-hmm.
right? And after we graduated,
Mm-hmm.
there late in my last years of high school, we were already
Mm-hmm.
playing at a club in the neighborhood named
Mm-hmm.
After Dark.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that was named Cricketers, right?
Pretty much all of this is intentional. Like,
Yeah. So can you
you might
imagine?
accept for real. Like, this is what I'm going to do.
So can you imagine me going home on a Friday afternoon? Because me and my crew, we didn't hang out at school after school, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was a basketball player. So if I didn't have a basketball game to go to, me and my friends, we went back to Parkdale to play the sound or play
Yeah.
basketball in Parkdale. We didn't hang out at school.
Okay.
We were always in
Wow.
Parkdale, right?
Okay.
So can you imagine going home on the subway on a Friday afternoon, right? You already know you're gonna go and play your little sound at the club on Friday night in the neighborhood, and somebody shouting across from you on the other side of the platform in the subway.
Mm-hmm.
You're going east, I'm going west,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they're shouting, "Yo, Plucky, the man I'm a play tonight." So from then, you kind of put yourself like it's like shit. We're important people.
Yeah.
And then all the older people in the neighborhood, they always look for to us to play at the party, and they were always
Mm-hmm.
at our party. So from then, it was like, yeah,
And within that, this is an education, this is an educational moment. So basically what a brand is not just a logo you see somewhere or a t-shirt that somebody has on. It definitely has like some sort of feeling connecting to it. So
yeah,
if you hear the name Brave Star, you automatically know, okay, this is what I'm gonna expect from these guys. Like, this is the vibe me expect, because you're connecting the name to an actual experience. And you just beautifully explained, you know, a different aspect or one aspect of branding and what it feels like. So yeah, um, definitely learned a few things from your background, because we talk and we've talked about this too, and
mhm,
it's like I didn't really want to pry too much, because after we decided to do this, I took it as an opportunity to learn more about you too, and just be genuinely in the moment and getting a feel for your background. I know this isn't 100% just about Brave Star and their background. Perhaps that's something we can do on a different date, and
yeah,
maybe even invite the other members and have a sit down, and y'all can talk about your memories. But definitely, solid background, solid foundation. You guys sound like, as I said, it was very intentional. It wasn't just oh, I was just playing with my uncle's son and then just decided to do it. Like, you saw an opportunity, you seized it, you created your name in the moment, literally, and you went after it, and the rest is history.
and
And
can I say one more thing too?
sure, yeah.
That was also part of the inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
I used upon migrating to Canada, right? I used to go back to Antigua every year
Mm-hmm.
for the summers, right? So
Mm-hmm.
one of my cousins, Terry Matthews, Terry, big up
Mm-hmm.
yourself.
I was actually just getting to Antigua, but let's
So
go. Yeah.
he used to hang out with a sound named Magnifique from Patas,
Mm-hmm. I've heard the name in
right?
conversations over time.
Well,
Yeah.
he was actually instrumental. Like it's just full circle with Great Star. I'm telling you this story,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you're a part of it too. You were also involved. The fella's name was John. So that was Braystar, actually Braystar's first clash,
Mm.
which I think was a clash series in Antigua, right?
Mm.
So I used to roll with that sound in Antigua in the summer,
Okay.
one particular summer,
Nice.
1992.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
then we were going to all the it was Shantytown, Carnival time.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Stonewall, Exorcist, Powerline,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I could tell you, I never paid to go into Stone Love or Stone Love, right?
Stone wall.
Yes, we always used to go behind a tree. Right? We send one man in to see what the stamp was. Once we seen what the stamp was, another thing we name fabrication. I fabricate. Go behind the big tree, put on our stamp, and we go in at the dance. What? We didn't want to go to Exorcist because Exorcist.
That's like the oldest trick in the book. It has
Yeah,
evolved. Like
you
I'm
have
not
to
going
be.
to tell out the secrets because
Yeah,
I know other
I
ways
mean,
now. But
that's what I'm telling you this, right?
since
So I
then
mean,
till now,
so
trust me.
seeing all of that, right?
Hmm.
I'm like, Antigua is dealing with sound clash like this or sound system culture like this.
Hmm.
So that was also part of the inspiration.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm glad you mentioned Antigua because we were
Yeah.
just getting into Antigua, so that's perfect segue into the next set of questions and conversation that I want to have with you. So fast forward for today, very
Yes.
beautiful legacy laid out. At the beginning of the legacy. So we're at Antigua now. You're
Hmm.
from Canada, fly go Antigua now. So you expanded into Antigua, right? Into Antigua
Yes.
at some point. What was your vision for that move? Why did you even think about, okay, let me just see what's going on in Antigua,
Well,
and the branch, start a branch down there.
there was really no vision for that. Still,
Mm-hmm.
what had happened is 2013 December.
Mm-hmm.
I came to Antigua after not being in Antigua for many years.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I actually came for a funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and what ended up happening was I stayed for 4 months. So during that time, right,
Mm-hmm.
I was also playing a song named Lexus Supreme.
Okay.
So when I went to Antigua, I had Lexus Supreme dub plates on my laptop. I had the few Brave Star dub plates that we had over the years on my laptop, and I have
Mm-hmm.
two dub plates that just big up myself personally, right, on my laptop. So when I was in the village, when Bolans, right, because that's where I stayed most of the times when I
Mm-hmm.
was there for those 4 months. Right off the bat, once they knew, they heard, once I went down in the village and I started playing these dub plates, that was it.
Mm.
And, I even ended up, during that time, I was in Antigua, I even ended up playing at Drinking Lime.
Okay.
We needed to play at Drinking Lime, right? So, I mean, big up Wardali for that opportunity still.
Yeah, yeah. I used to play down there
It
too.
was the
It
only
was
time I
it
ever
was always
really,
a vibe.
yes, it was
Yeah.
the only time I ever really DJ'd in Antigua, right? So
Okay.
it was big
Nice.
for me, right? So, I mean, after that now, I never left my MacBook. Always traveling with my music. So everywhere I went, I had this friend from I think it was CG, right? From Cedar Grove,
Mm-hmm.
right? His name is Nakai. And he used to come and he was into the sound thing heavy too. So he used to just come and pick me up, and everywhere we used to go, we just used to string up wherever we can. I just used to just play the dub plates there, right? And in Bowlands now, there's a little bar named Moonlight. I think no, Full Moon. It was Full Moon. Sorry. So like every Friday night and Saturday night, right? Me, my cousin, and a lot of other guys in the village used to just go down there and play music, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so even one of them, D9, ended up even booking me for his birthday party.
Okay.
right?
And D9 was probably on NB at the
Another party
time.
I played in Antigua, D9's birthday party.
What song was he on at that time? Was it Envy?
At that time, he was rolling with Sound Refugee.
Oh, song.
He was playing with my cousin Gandhi and another
Okay.
member named Ditu,
Okay.
which we call Kilavan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, it's something that happened organic. This time it wasn't intentional. You were like planning, okay, so I'm gonna start a song in Antigua and I'm gonna do it
Well,
now.
well,
It was more of like
even
something organic.
at that time, I haven't even made up my mind that Brave Star was gonna be in Antigua. Because
Okay.
remember, I was still playing Lexus Supreme at the time,
Okay. Okay.
right?
But when it did come on to that though, what definitely what happened? What made you be like, okay, let's try this out in Antigua? And I'm talking about specifically the earlier team, because a lot of people don't know that apart from this newer set of guys, there
Yeah.
was actually people, you actually had a set of guys playing the song from before. So that's something I wanted you to clarify and shed some light on also. It
Yes.
wasn't just this new set of guys. And rightfully, that's true, because I do remember the Drunken Skunk Clash series, and I do remember hearing the name definitely before the newer set of guys joined. So tell us a little bit about that move, really quickly, and what led to that before we jump into the new team.
Well, like I said, after spending those 4 months in Antigua, upon returning back to Canada now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ditu, Kilavan,
Mm-hmm.
right? He called me and said, "Yo, you mind if we represent Brave Star Antigua?" I was like,
Okay.
I thought about it, and I was like, sure, why not? You know, and that was it.
Yeah.
So basically, him and my cousin Gandhi brought the
Mm-hmm.
talent from Sound Refugee to
Mm-hmm.
represent Brave Star. And
Okay.
then D9 and DJ Rambo and a few other guys came
Mm-hmm.
along after.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And obviously that dissolved because they were next set after that. What
Yeah.
happened there?
Well, after D9 and Rambo and the other guys went their way, at
Mhm.
no point did DJ Killavani and my cousin Gandhi tell me that they're parting ways with the sound, with the brand,
Okay.
right? So when I was cutting the dub, I was still cutting a few dub plates here and
Mhm.
there. So I would still put their names in it. Because I mean,
Okay.
at the end of the day, when I cut a dub plate, it's supposed to
Mhm.
tell a story.
And where are these guys now?
Well, Gandhi now resides in England,
Okay.
and Kilavani is here in Toronto as well. Toronto.
And I get that too. I've had members who started with Sister Soldiers 20 years ago,
Yeah.
and it was never like a hard leave, like this is behind me now. But life change, people have different responsibilities and have to prioritize different things in their life. So they become a bit, I wouldn't even say estranged, because they're still there. We still talk, we still vibe. All the dub plates still have their name, but they're just dealing with life on a different level. They're
You gotta
not like,
respect that.
yeah, and you have to respect that, because at the end of the day, people have lives and the math has to be mathing, and straight up sound culture, being a sound system, I feel like you spend more than what you make, especially if you're cutting dub plates, and you don't have actual equipment that you're constantly renting, or you're fully like engulfed in business in that way. Some of us have jobs, but we still split that with the sound time, so shit happens. People
Yeah.
have responsibilities, so I get that. So they never walked away. They were always still there, but just not active, fully active on the ground.
Yeah. Just like even
Hmm.
some of the founding members that were there
Exactly.
from day
Gotcha.
one. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's understood. That's clear as day. So now, when the newer team came around in, I think, 2020, right? Pretty much.
2019.
2019, sorry. Right. What was the understanding then, and what led you to that also?
Well, what
Were they
happened?
representing you, or was it something that they also was trying to like build on their own? Like what happened there?
Well, you know, they had. I'm not gonna say they had nothing. But what they wanted to do was
Mm-hmm.
play a song,
Okay.
right? And one of the members, Bussy,
Mm-hmm.
he obviously remembered when I used to be in Bowlands playing down at Full Moon during that
Mm-hmm.
time. So when I touched down in Antigua 2019,
Mm-hmm.
right, I went up in the village to check a few friends, and before I even reached, Bussy saw me, right, and led me to where everybody was hanging out. And he had already showed me his intentions, like, yo, we want to play the song, we want to play the song, right? So
Mm-hmm.
because I was on my way to go and check another individual named Salas,
Mm-hmm.
right? So basically, you could kind of say that he was the one that introduced me to Bussy and
Mm-hmm.
Yaya.
Mm-hmm.
Because before they actually told me themselves that they wanted to play and represent the sound now, right?
Okay.
He had already told me that there's two youths that want to play and represent the sound.
Nice. And I can attest to that because I remember when we did meet in 2019 when we were at my office talking, you
Yes.
said that to me like, yo, D, like maybe not in these words,
Hmm.
but have two you there that want to play the song. What you think about it? What you think I should do? And I told you in the moment, yo, go for it. Like you there's nothing to lose. You know, you have your thing going on in Canada. You're from Antigua.
Hmm.
They are willing. It's not like you're begging them. You know, they come to you and they're showing interest. No, nothing for
And that's
lose.
what it was
You
at the
know,
time.
pardon me.
And that's what it was at the time. It seemed genuine, pure. Here I am with a handful of dub plates, and I
Mhm,
don't really DJ like that anymore. I mean, I still do music. I go to
mhm,
sound clashes,
mhm.
but why not let them represent the sound?
And that's the thing when you really look at the wider picture. Like people do that. There are sounds that are active not only in the US, but they have a branch in Antigua. There are a lot of people who have different branches all over, you know. So I feel like I if I had that opportunity for Sister Soldiers, I definitely would welcome it. Um but there are just not enough females interested in the like the raw sound culture for me that really blends with our brand and you
Yeah.
know our
You want them
mission
to
and our
experience
vision. But
you, right?
that's besides the point. But what I'm saying is there's nothing out of the ordinary. People do that all the time, and it is pretty clear that whatever you displayed in Antigua made them interested enough to be like, yo, I want to, I want to big up that team too. I want to be a part of that. So,
Hmm.
that's also something that wasn't really too clear when I was listening to the other side of the experience. So okay, we got that out of the way. So all of this happened. What did these experiences teach you about working with teams in different locations? So like not even getting into the problems as yet, but just at this point, you're working you had an experience with a team before, some members moved on, some of them had different directions in life, but they were still there. And then now you have these new set of guys who approached you and they're doing their thing in the earlies, no problem. We don't reach the problem part yet. But at that point, what did the experience teach you about working with teams in different locations? How were you feeling at this point?
Well, what it taught me was that it's not easy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I mean, right off the bat, they joined what I created,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm
You and
close.
your friends from
Yeah,
Canada created.
me and my yes, and you have to become when you join something, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's protocols, there's rules.
Cut there. One question. One question I had to ask. Just curious. Did you have to consult with the previous members for that move, or it was just something you did and they embraced it?
No, because from ever since, right, I've shown my leadership for Brave Star.
Okay. So you
And
always assume
Brave
the
Star,
leadership.
and let me say this, right? Brave Star, amongst me and my friends, right, helped to show my other friends true leadership
Mm-hmm.
as well, their true leadership skills. Because when it came time to do parties, right, who can cook is taking care of the food, right?
Mm.
Who has more of a business head,
Mm-hmm.
right, has is gonna have a say in how the money is spent on certain things, if you get what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
from
yeah.
day one, right, since we've been establishing this sound,
Mm-hmm.
I've been the general.
Okay.
Always
Got
been appointed the musical general when it comes to Brace
okay.
Star.
Okay. All right. So,
So,
it taught you that it's not easy. Clearly, you're there, they're here.
no,
Um, kind of having no expectations. I
yes,
mean, yes, happened organically. They approached you, you were down, but then now there's somebody you're splitting your brand into, in a sense, and one is in Antigua. And of course, like any owner or person that's leading something, you'd have certain expectations. Um, so let's just cut straight to the chase. We don't really have to go down in history lane. They said their part on the journey.
what I was trying to say to you, right? There were no clear expectations,
Okay,
right?
okay,
They asked me to play the sound. I now
okay,
know that I have to start spending money and buying dub plates, right?
okay.
But I always had to keep reminding them, like, as much as it seems as though I'm the boss,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm still just a member of this sound,
Okay.
right?
So they could have come to you and talk to you about anything, and
Anything,
we always reason
right?
and
I
figure
never
it
appointed
out.
I never appointed any rules,
Okay.
right? It's for them to be able to show me what it is that they wanted to do in Antigua, because I have
Okay.
to figure it out myself too, because I
Okay.
don't know what's going on in Antigua.
Got you.
So from day one, I've always established team, right? I
Okay.
cannot be a good functioning member of the team if I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what is going on
Okay.
with who's on the ground
Okay.
or what's going on the ground.
But there were no restrictions. There were no rules.
No
It was
restriction.
just come and
In
come.
the earlies, in the
Oh, just tell me
earlies,
no what go on, guys. Just tell me what go on. That's
in the
all.
earlies, my only real restrictions, right,
Mm-hmm.
were that the handful of dub plates that we had that were already mixed, you can play those,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I know we're gonna get different songs now,
Mm-hmm.
right? But when you have split tracks, because I really wanted them to get and learn what we had from early, even though it was just a handful of dub plates, some of them weren't even mixed yet,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when I tell you don't play the split tracks or don't play the dubs them for everybody to hear just yet, because we don't have that many songs,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I already had the blueprint in my head. In order
Mm-hmm.
for us to establish this sound in Antigua or
Mm-hmm.
anywhere in the world,
Mm-hmm.
you have to take baby steps. It's
Okay.
5 and dub plate clashes.
Okay. Got you.
So those were my only real restrictions. Don't play out the songs at this point,
Mm-hmm.
the stage of us building for everybody to
Yeah,
hear.
don't be too trigger happy and just be like,
Yeah,
like guns blazing everywhere you go. Just, humble and easily ease yourself in the
but then
space. Yeah.
apart from that, there really were no restrictions.
Hmm. Interesting. Like, I feel like I can get it as a owner. Definitely get the move. But when you have, and I'm not making any excuses, just from what I seen and I see, when you have people who are young and eager and very proud of something that they have going on, it's hard to tell them ease up or don't go too hard. It kind of translates into, oh, you hold me back, believe in me,
And
or trust me. And that was one of the things that was said also, I'm plucking and believe in it, are we? And I can see it just being miscommunication and people not really understanding 100%. the expectations, or just it's it's music, but music has feelings attached to it. You're not a robot, just go in front of a crowd and play anything. You have to feel the vibe, you have to build the vibe. So as much as it's business as well, a lot of emotions and feelings go into it. So just to clear that up,
Yeah.
that part about them thinking that you didn't believe in them, and the fact when you mentioned that, I kind of realized where like the y'all were butting heads. So what do you want to say to that part?
Well,
Yeah.
what they needed to understand too is that, remember,
Mhm.
Bravestar was just an idea that came out of my head, and
Mhm.
then it evolved into what it evolved into when they became a part of it, right?
Mhm.
It was easy because when it was built with me and my other friends, we were close. We're of the
Mhm.
same age group as well,
Yeah, and you're
right?
much older than the
And
current.
I'm much older than this current generation of who's
You
in
could
Brave,
be their daddy.
right? Thank you. So
Oh,
I think that
not
also,
really putting out there your age, but
yeah.
yeah.
I'm 48.
Yes.
I'm 48 years of age. I turned 48 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Proud of that. And I say I'm look young still, But like I'm saying, what they didn't understand too, right, was that I am now also having to learn the business of
Mhm.
sound clash and
Mhm.
managing a brand,
Mhm.
because after those years, it was just me.
Yeah.
I did whatever I wanted to do, how I
Mhm.
wanted to do it, when I wanted to do
And
it.
again, they approached you like
They approached
you
me.
didn't in a situation like that. I'd feel like, not saying that people aren't like open to have their feelings and like how they feel, but you approach somebody about doing something with them, you kind of have to just move with for them they flow. You can't just come and take over because you weren't recruited. They weren't like, come and help me. Like, I am not like shitting on them in any way, but it's
Yeah,
just perception and meeting people where they are at. Like, you asked to be a part of this. This is where we are. This is how we move. This is how we govern our thing. Like, somebody try to hold you back, but this is how I want to deal with stuff. And you're saying you were very clear on these things.
very clear. There, like I said, there were no restrictions,
Well, I know you. You're a person that's very
right?
straightforward, and you're open book per se, in a sense where you let people know your thoughts and your feelings. You're a very open person in that way. So I can see you telling them, yo guys, XYZ, you know? So, when did you actually first realize something wasn't going right? Because I know, even though what happened, and we're going to get to that next,
Yeah.
was a shocker, like, you had to have known, like, something was a bit off. When did you start realizing that?
Well, it's something that I've been working with from very early, because I realized people were coming around the sound, right? Like there are other members in this younger generation as well that are no longer there, right?
Mhm.
So that's when I started, and then with that happening,
Who brought them in? The people from Antigua brought them in?
yes, I mean it's everybody knows who Brave Star is in
Hmm.
Antigua,
Right.
right? And I'm not gonna sit back here and keep saying that guy and this guy.
Hmm.
Everybody know I'm gonna call names,
Okay.
right? Because
That's
at the end
fair.
of the day, they're gonna know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
So
That's fair.
Yaya is the one constant that has been there with this younger generation of Brave Star,
Okay.
right? And there has been other guys, Paige,
Hmm.
Plucky,
And
right?
these were recruited by Yaya
My
and.
Yaya. I've never since once Bossy and Yaya asked me to represent Brave Star,
Hmm.
right? I
Hmm.
kind of gave them charge as and for them to
So
kind of,
you had no issues with them building their own like a team with the
right, show
brand.
me who it
And
is that I'm gonna be working with.
okay,
Right?
that's fair. I mean, I don't know if I could have done that as an owner. So like,
Well, remember,
kudos to you.
remember, I
Like,
was
that's
even
very noble of you.
during that point too, right? I'm still not even thinking about business and all of that stuff. Like I told you,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still learning. I'm just
Got
happy for the fact that these guys said they want to represent the brand. Okay, here I
and
am.
you're
Also
talented
I
and
also get a chance to showcase my skills that I'm learning. Mix the dub
okay,
plates, song ideas. That's
okay.
my way of putting my
Putting
input into the
into
song.
yeah, that's your
You know what
input
I'm
at that
saying?
point.
And they're gonna go out there and present that.
Okay,
They're gonna utilize those tools and perform now. You get what I'm
okay,
saying? So I
that's
still have to do my job, right?
okay.
So I mean, like I said, when I really started realizing that there was a problem, right, is that there's always that one person that everybody's complaining about,
Mm-hmm.
right? But that's the person I trust in the most.
Which is yeah, yeah.
Thank you,
Okay,
right? And I tried my best to try and figure out and understand everybody else individually, right?
okay.
They voice
Well,
their
everybody have problems,
yeah,
and I can understand that dynamic as well. Yaya, I know Yaya personally in a sense when it comes on to the music. I don't know about his personal life, but what I can say about him and even dealing with him on the business level, he seems like when it came on to anything for Bresa, he was that nigga. He was that guy that reached out for the flyer or like doing things business wise. And even at one point I had to commend him and I was like, yo, like to say that you this young in the business dealing with you business wise, you exhibit such a level of communication that I don't get from the other sounds. Like, I'm gonna rate how you deal with your thing. And I mean, that is a big deal for me because I always think of this as a business now. Once you start spending money on dubs, once you're cutting dubs and once you're doing events and things of that nature, you have to look at it as a business and you're dealing with other vendors and people have to be able to depend on you and want to do business with you. So saying that to say, Yaya was the general in Antigua, just like how you said you main govern whatever in Canada amongst
yeah.
your friends. He was that guy in
He was
Antigua,
that
and I
guy.
got that energy from him. And
Yeah.
even dealing with him, it was always a pleasant experience. Even if something fell through, he would call, "Yo, D, I know I said XYZ. This will all go on," and I could appreciate that. So big up Yaya if you're watching.
And I seen him grow into that role too because he had
Okay.
no choice. Remember, Bussy migrated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he had to become the MC,
Right. And that
right?
as well. I was not surprised. I know who his brothers are. You have
Yeah.
B9,
And
being
I
Chef
also had to
like
encourage him,
King.
like, yo, you're coming from a line of family that you can do this, bro. Right?
So
And
even when
ended
he
up
took
doing it.
the mic that when he did the was it protocol badness, I think that
Yes.
was the first time he had to MC by himself. He
Yes.
really impressed me. I was like, yo, like not only is he a bad selector, he's a bad MC. He can do this. So saying that to say this is when you realize something wasn't right when everybody was just constantly coming to you complaining about the leader. But what I was saying is
Mhm.
it's kind of normal in a sense where everybody has issues but they're afraid to talk, especially given their age group. They're young men, everybody afraid for say what they want to say, and then at the end of the day you are the general for everything, so they'll probably feel more comfortable coming to you and you kind of smoothing things over with yeah. I feel like that was the approach.
Well,
I could be wrong.
well, I created a WhatsApp group and everybody was in that group, right? I would post messages like when I get dub sessions
Hmm.
at good prices,
Hmm.
right? Or even when I just have a general song idea that or
Hmm.
song information and I put in that group.
Hmm.
Out of all those guys in Antigua, Yaya was the main one and sometimes the only one that would even respond
Okay.
when everybody's supposed to be giving input. I
Yeah.
need to take everybody's input with mine to make that creation. You get what I'm saying? Once I get the song idea, then I know how to go and
Yeah.
maybe
So
write.
that I mean that's not something we can force.
Mhm.
Unfortunately they didn't feel like they could talk to him directly and it always had to be them coming to you. That's not
No, no,
something.
what I'm saying is when I posted information in the group,
Uh-huh.
right? They
Yeah.
didn't respond within the group,
Yeah.
right? And whenever I sensed there was an issue or whatever,
Mhm.
I would try my best to reach out to one of them outside the group. And if they
Mhm.
were willing to tell me what it is the issue
Mhm.
was,
Mhm.
right? That's now a conflict that I have to deal with.
Yes,
And
exactly.
I'm not gonna know that information knowing that okay, you're contributing to the group, right? And
Mhm.
but yet you're not happy. I'm gonna have to say something as the
Yeah.
leader of the group.
Right.
So
Exactly.
so now when that happens, now
Mhm.
when I said, okay, Mr. B says that, right?
Mhm.
About Yaya or whatever,
Mhm.
Yaya says it's not true, then I look bad. Or the person
Mhm.
might not even say anything. They might not back me up with what they told me,
Mhm.
with what I'm now presenting to the group. If you understand
Right.
what I'm saying. So now Plucky becomes the bad guy,
Got you.
right? And that has happened a lot of times, right?
Mhm.
Some of the stuff I forget about it. All right, we move on.
But like you said, it's also a space where you're also learning and trying to take things a bit more seriously and do things in a way where you like at that point realizing that yo, I can't just like leave it up to them alone in a sense. Like I have to kind of get some order here, and that's what you were trying to accomplish with actually like
Mhm.
presenting whatever issues
Yes,
on the table and trying to fix them before moving forward.
yes.
Like, was that a point of you realizing that, yo, I really have to look at this thing different now?
In terms of
Of your leadership and leading a team and not just like leaving everything up to them now. At this point, they're dragging you in, you know?
well, to
So
be
you have
honest,
to feel a kind of way.
to
Like,
be,
what were
to
your
be,
feelings
to be
towards that?
honest with you, Damara, and to the whole Sound Clash fraternity, I
Yeah.
don't think a lot of people really understand me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I really try to do with this opportunity, right? I'm a
Mm-hmm.
real generous person, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, I wasn't making any money from this. I was only spending money.
Mm-hmm.
So from day one, when they asked me, can we represent Brave Star Sound? I was just a barber living in an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So from day one, right? Remember I told you I only had a handful of dub plates and
Mm-hmm.
jingle, whatever. So from day one, I tried to show them the blueprint. Brave
Mm-hmm.
Star needs to be a dub plate and 45 sound.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We're gonna cut the dub plate strategically on the
Mm-hmm.
hot 45 rhythms from the 90s till now. So we
Mm-hmm.
could play our dub plates and stuff in between. You could go in any clash.
Mm-hmm.
Any dub plate and 45 clash.
Mm-hmm.
So before they even started making a dollar, I
Mm-hmm.
told them my position
Right.
financially, right? So I told them at some point, right? Like I'm handling this now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Once you guys start getting booking dates and stuff like that, right? Like any sound should
Mm-hmm. We put
decide,
some back into the sound.
right? If you make a 300 EC, put aside $50 or something. We say, boy,
Mm-hmm.
a couple weeks from now we can buy one little sound. I
Mm-hmm.
tried to put that in place from the early. And like I told you, just how to even design the box,
Mm-hmm.
make the box even appear to be strong, even though we don't have a lot of songs.
It's even listening to you now, like like perception is everything. You look in from the outside,
Mhm.
and these guys would go into like clashes, and they play so many dubs. It's like, damn, I didn't know Brave Star was that strapped. That's that wasn't the perception I had. Like you were trying to build, and now,
If you look back
carry.
at it tomorrow, right? When
Mhm.
they won Island Clash, remember they joined the sound in 2019,
Mhm.
January, right?
Mhm.
By December 2019, they won Island Clash.
Mhm.
Okay? Wow.
First time going in as Brave.
Here I am going crazy now, like, yo man, bad sound Antigua. What am I gonna do? I'm still a barber them time. I start shelling. I start buy some. Buy the little song. The man take advantage of friends for real, all of these little dub
So
sessions.
them winning Island Clash as well, stick a pin.
Hmm.
They would have won actual monies as well. Did they
Well, Island
use
Clash
any?
wasn't no big money.
Okay. I
And
don't remember. I think
they didn't even really need to. They didn't even play a lot of dub plates in Island Clash because even though
okay.
I was buying songs from 2019 January up
Hmm.
until December, I wasn't mixing them.
Okay.
So that's so when they make that complaint,
Hmm.
right, about ooh, we want to get song when a clash time, right? Plucky's an individual that also has his personal life. I have a family.
Hmm.
I have to go work, come on, and I have to cut here.
Hmm.
I the song them. We're gonna mix the dub plate, then we can mix them. Relax. You know what we have. You can
Hmm.
play those songs in 45 and win a
In
clash.
so in a sense where somebody would typically like, oh, here, hold back song. That's
No,
what was happening.
that's
Like
not what was happening.
you just didn't. That's what I mean. You just did not have the time
Mhm.
to focus on that. You were spread so thin, and they
Tomorrow,
just had to work with you, and
tomorrow.
they weren't hearing that.
I went and ordered a book off of Amazon,
Hmm.
right? Because I also try my hand in production. I went and ordered a book on how to mix, just so I could get more clarity and get more ideas on how to mix the dub plates and make them sound more interesting. I put my all into this tomorrow.
Right.
And they know this, but they didn't speak
It
about
just
it.
was not fast enough for them. You think that's
No.
what it was?
You
Okay.
know how many nights I lost sleep at my little hangout spot in my MacBook talking about I'm mixing dub plates and I have to go work in the morning? They
Okay.
don't understand that.
I get it. I can relate. There was this young lady working with me at one point, and I was teaching her how to make flyers. And one day she came to me and was like, "Yo, like I'm so eager. Like I need you to teach me more." And like I just didn't have the time. I'm dealing with real life. My son, his therapy. There's so much going on. Like I get it. You're eager, you want to learn, you probably want to make your own money and make a name for yourself, and I'm willing to teach you, but also there's only so much I can do, and you're the one that asked me. So it's like you either go move up my pace, or like I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to figure it out. Like, and it's not like you're not telling them, and it's like it's a big shocker, like you're actively communicating this along the way.
Yes.
So it's like your hands are tied. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Right.
So I totally get that as an owner, and a lot of people don't get that as own not being owners. They're just a part of something. They're not the one shelling the money out. They're not the one having to sacrifice sleep to do certain things. They just show up and press play, or go practice with what you've given to them. So
Right.
it's a lot. It's a lot being an owner. I can attest for that. But also, when something goes amiss with the team, you pull yourself back and you ask certain questions. Was I clear enough? Did I let them know? Like, and I mean, once you can check those boxes clearly, like, if you know you're doing all that you can do to support them as much as you can, and it's still not enough, clearly you can understand why there are issues, right?
Mhm.
It's not on anybody. Nobody is right or wrong at this point. At this point, it's just a clash of schedules and expectations, and people just not meeting at the same place.
Yes.
So I'm not making any, we don't reach right or wrong yet, but jumping into right or wrong now. After all that would have happened and all these things would have occurred, and you felt within yourself that things weren't too right, what happened next, which was like a few weeks ago, and I must say it was a shocker to me at first, but when you saw now what was happening publicly, like what went through your mind? For me, when I saw a post on Facebook saying that Brave Star was rebranding, I automatically was happy. That's my thing. That's my feel. I saw a new logo. I was like, yeah, man, Plucky, you never upgrade the thing. Yeah, whatever. And then I saw a mutual song colleague of yours also, who is a very good friend of mine, make a comment saying, yeah, something along the lines of them moving on. So then I was confused. So before I said anything to you, I asked them directly about their comments, and they weren't too sure. They were just playing, devil's advocate. So I asked you, and then that's when you were like, "Yo, D, like, you know me, no, know nothing about that, no." And I was like, "What? Are you serious?" And that's when I actually learned that some type of split was happening. But the thing that got me was you had no idea about it. So imagine this: you own something. You didn't even have to be on sound system. Let's say you're on personal. Um, what can you be? A concierge, and you run your little business and stuff, and you hire some youth for drive the vehicle, and you make all the bookings and stuff, and you make sure them eat, and your business will go well, and they don't agree with certain things you're doing, or the business now go fast enough for them, because them they know they can get more contracts and they can do this, and you too slow for them. So them they decide, what, I'll just start our own thing. But me now left because I've invested my time, and I guess in some sense money, but that's the next conversation down the line. You invested some money and time, and you're not willing to part with the name or the brand identity. So I am going to just split up from this person and create my business, but call it the same thing, but just add international to it and move on. So going back to what I was saying, when you saw that happening before your eyes without even any, you were pretty much blindsided from our conversation.
Well, to answer
What
that,
was in your mind?
well, I laughed and I got to work one time because
What kind of work? Like your work, 9 to 5?
well, I'm not afraid to say what I want to say and type what I want to type.
Oh, okay.
Once I seen that,
Plucky
right,
was in Plucky mode.
I went into Plucky mode one time and shared the post with my caption,
Mm-hmm.
right? But prior to that, what led up to that, right,
Mm-hmm.
is that communication had really dropped down.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I told you I was having issues with them just sending me flyers so I could put on our social media platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know when the sound is booked for a clash or a juggling day.
At this point, like for lack of better words, and pardon my French, at this point, fuck Plucky, he full of fuck. He not deal with how I want he for do so like whatever.
So,
Was that the energy you were getting?
that's what I was picking up, right? And this was especially after the 50 caliber clash, right? I decided like, we need to move on from that. So I'm still asking them to send me the flyers, send me whatever. So
as far as I'm concerned, Plucky hold back his song and them and make all lose the clash. Based on what you're telling me.
Every song that I had up until that point, right? For any clash,
they had them.
Unless we didn't get it in time, or they said don't worry about it.
Okay. All right.
We never held back no songs.
Okay.
Like what I'm saying is, right? What you guys need to understand, what everybody needs to understand is, I'm still a member of the team. There's still things that I see. I have a vision also, right? Because I have to try to align it with their vision. One jump on plane and go foreign. We live in Canada, Toronto. We have sound fraternity at Toronto too, right? I still have to try and put in some footwork, some groundwork here. I just have to dub play to them and not do nothing. Unless I'm gonna have these guys coming here, right, where I can actually manage them, right? Like if the team could actually be here, where I don't necessarily have to pay the sound, right? That could be another option. But me and Kilavani were trying to do our little thing, right? So I got an opportunity to participate in a clash that Rootsman presented, right? Sounds in action. So my first time I decided, okay, I'm gonna play the dub them at Canada in an actual clash. Me and Kilavani, right? Prior
And
to
these are
that,
the same dubs Yaya and them had access to.
same dubs.
Just making sure.
The only thing that I had, right, is that I cut a
Mhm.
few extra dubs, right?
Canadian artists,
Canadian artists.
which makes
Because,
sense.
because
I
before that,
figured you didn't have to tell me. I just figured
thank you. Because
that's
before
what
that,
you do when
outside
you end
of
up.
any
Yeah,
major Jamaican artists, right? I was dealing with the local. I was trying my
that's
best
a
in
no
Canada to
brainer.
deal with the local Antiguan scene because they weren't doing it. That's something I also asked them to deal with, and they couldn't do.
Okay,
So I still had to deal with that. Getting little
okay.
singers them, majestic them, we look at
Mhm,
MLP, Capone them, Frankie.
mhm.
You know what I mean? And me
Got you.
deal with them thing, right?
Okay.
So leading up to that clash now, I'm trying to arm myself to my first time playing the Dubs them and clashing in Canada or whatever,
Mhm,
right? Prior to that, I had asked Yaya for a collection of songs. You know the newer song them with the young people that I play right now.
mhm.
As me, I
So there
studied
was a 45 clash same this
45.
and dub mix war. Yeah.
Thank you. Bracers are 45 and dub plate sound,
Same
right?
for Sister Soldiers. Just putting that out there. But that's the
So
next story.
I've been asking him how long now. Yo, send me some of them little song then just zip up a little folder and send me now.
Mhm,
Right? Oh no, the man not send the song them. I'm gonna well use some of the little hot song them for the clash that I'm going on.
mhm,
Right? The clash come and gone now. Right? Even before the clash, he says something to me like, yo, Plucky, use the clash, yeah? Like as a I guess as a measuring stick to see which sound me can bring them a candidate and come clash.
mhm.
Right? So here I am now trying to put
Makes
it.
sense. Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, but when I reach them levels there yet,
Mhm,
I'm here trying to do my thing to create a
mhm,
platform, right? That I don't necessarily have to piggyback off of the energy that you guys are creating in Antigua.
mhm,
You get what I'm saying? But I
mhm,
didn't get that support. When I right after the clash, I'm gonna realize, say, yo, actually, that's some dub plate. I'm a shooter. Yes, being an MC isn't easy, but once I get over the little nervousness, I can actually do it.
mhm,
Go on, take on some little 45 and dub plate Clash of Canada now. So I put the logo, made a flyer, right? And I'm not just blaming them, but none of the
mhm,
members shared it, old or new, right?
mhm,
'Cause even then, at that point, there was a lot of turmoil,
mhm. Yeah.
right?
Going
After
on with it.
this is all after the 50 caliber clash. So
Okay.
communication had really broke down amongst everybody. But I'm
Okay.
still trying to do what I gotta do, right? I
So
didn't get
there was still no definitive nothing before that moment
no.
when you saw whatever on social media. It's just like, all right, I'll just stay.
Right? I
Yeah.
didn't get the support. So, like I said, none of them shared the flyer. So, remember, I told you, I'm struggling to even get flyers from dates that they have in Antigua, right?
Hmm. So you can
So,
put it up on your
put it
social
on,
media
so I can put it on
rightfully
our
and
social media, right?
yeah.
So now that I'm asking Yaya, like, yo, I don't know I'm telling Yaya, like, yo, I don't know what's going on with you guys in Antigua. You guys don't send me anything. You guys don't even call me to have a conversation, nothing.
Yep.
I'm now trying to do my thing, right? It's not to say that
And,
I'm forgetting about you guys, but I
and
have to
pick a
do what I
pin too. Right there. Also another educational moment.
yeah,
Branding is just not just having your logo looking pretty sitting on a shirt. Like there's so many aspects of it. So even when you were mentioning asking them for the flyers for the stuff that they were doing at home so you could share it on your social media page, like that only helps to build a brand because now people can associate events with your sound.
I could go to a
And
promoter and say, look at my guys in Antigua, yo, you need to forget them at Toronto,
yeah.
right? But I wasn't getting that. No video
Yeah, you
clip.
have to leave on like a paper trail. The social media have to look like y'all are actually doing something. And I'm not saying that not because people aren't posting, nothing now go on, but how are people supposed to know? That's where
Right?
everything is going now. Everything is digital. The other day some a promoter booked me for an event and they're like, so they need some recommendations. I gave them some recommendations. They were able to go to the person's social media, see her actually performing live in like a huge crowd, go to her social media, was able to listen to some of her lives and her mixes, and they were sold. They're ready to book her
Yeah.
just because she has her content out there, so nobody have to ask. ask nobody else. They can go and see for themselves. Like, okay, them a go on with things. So again, educational moment. Like, and I tell people this all the time. You can go back. You can run down a bag of dub plates if nobody know who you be. It don't make no sense,
Yeah.
dog. Like, you can't just be content with just playing in your village. And
Right.
not saying that's what they're doing, but I'm just saying, just for example, so you can't just be content playing in your home and you make such huge investments.
Yeah.
Dub plates have carried people all over the world. You just have to put yourself out there. It's not just being able to do it. You have to can show that you can do it, you
Yeah.
know? So definitely, just for those of you who are listening, who are in sound system, or again, this is not just for the sound culture space. If you have a business, if you have an idea, there's a way you go about sharing that for, growth. And also, it's a business. You have to eat. You should want to at least enjoy some fruits of your labor. You may not get it back in cash, but you might get it back in experience. You might get a trip and play alongside one of your favorite selectors. You just never know. You get to meet new people, experience new cultures. Like, there's so much you can accomplish from branding your sound the right way and putting yourself out there. Because there's no mistake that
Can
there's
I
a
say
lot of
something?
talent out there.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
During all this time, right? Have you seen, apart from that one little clash in Canada, right? You've only really
Mm-hmm.
seen my presence really on social media. They were the ones that were able to use the tools that
Mm-hmm.
I'm investing in and go out there and make money.
Mm-hmm.
I was empowering them to go out there and make money. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So why would they want to ruin that? I'm not, yes, I'm complaining about me not getting certain little things or whatever, but at the end of the day, we're still being able to utilize these tools and go out there
You
and
know what's happening, Plucky? I feel like people think clashing and dub plates are the epiphany of having a song. Like, I don't know where they get that energy from, but they feel like you're not a bad sound unless you can flex in that way.
yeah,
And I feel like it's kind of misleading. A lot of songs Stonewall bust back in the day, and they too were playing 45s and dub plates. Like, I mean, it doesn't. I feel like there's like this ego thing attached to attached to being able to play all of these dubs, and yeah, I had this and this artist. And but at the end of the day, the mission is about sharing music and
yeah.
entertaining people and creating an atmosphere where everybody can have a good time, and it doesn't require playing 100% dub plates. But
So,
a lot of people seem to like, it's like, oh my god, like this is the end all of my song if I can't play 50 dubs, It's not that serious. That's
so,
how I look at it.
so to finish answering up your
Yeah.
question, right? Once I realized, like, I wasn't getting that support now that I'm now ready to step back out and start doing my thing, right? Because I
Mm-hmm.
asked him, why didn't you share? He said, oh, after I asked him, like, or I told him that I don't know what you guys are doing at Antigua, he
Mm-hmm.
he turned back to me now and said, oh, well, I don't know what you guys are doing in Canada. Come see you make flyer with Bruce. I want to take out 45 Clash and Dub. I was like, yo, you. I went and did that because it's like I'm bored. You guys aren't reporting to me, letting me know what's going on in Antigua. So I have the dub place. I gotta try and do something. You know what I'm
And it's
saying?
your sound. Like,
And,
what? A Fumi Sovereign, like,
right?
I'm not even trying to cap right now.
And I
And
posted it,
and
and I
and
posted it, and I'm sure that I tagged you guys in it, but you never shared it. And then I realized that they started all these dates that they were getting. The only way I was able to see any booking dates or flyers that they were on, they would share when somebody else posted it.
mm,
So they wouldn't post it, they wouldn't send it to me or
or
post
take
it
the
on their own
initiative to
personal page. They
post
would
it
just share
first.
what other people
Yeah.
posted.
Yeah, it takes more than just
Yeah.
buying a few dubs and being bad. Like, if you want to stand the test of time, it takes more than that. And I feel like that's another reason why a lot of people like move from sound to sound to sound to sound, because all they're really interested is just being that bad selector. And I mean, nothing is wrong with that,
Yeah.
but it's not that's not the only recipe for a successful brand. because you're just gonna keep moving around and around and around and around, and like if you can find that one place where you can grow with that
Mhm.
brand, like it works out so much better for yourself and the brand itself too, because everything goes hand in hand. But if you're just hopping around and from sound to sound, like you just spend your life being a rolling stone, you don't really reach the heights that you hope to reach. Which in That's why I feel like they thought, some people think in this space when these things happen, they can just split and run with the name because they're not willing to give up that. But it's not yours. So this is where we are getting into now facts versus opinions, and unfortunately, right versus wrong.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't want to cut you. We're already going over our time. So I've already made up my mind. We're going to post this in two parts. But
Yeah.
let's get down to the nitty gritty and wrap it up. Um, I feel like you've explained yourself well enough and given us enough insight as to how your mind worked,
Mhm.
and what your intentions were behind of expanding the song outside of Canada.
Yeah.
So you saw what was happening. You said when you saw it, you went into full Plucky mode.
Mhm.
Remember, I everybody watching this interview don't know Plucky. I don't know the persona behind the Plucky. So you said you shared it and you had these thoughts, but how were you feeling as a person? Like, honestly, and as candid as you can get. Like,
Well,
how did you feel?
well. To be honest with you, right? Because I've had
Obviously
conversations about
shocked.
it
Yeah.
like, with a few people over the course of the last couple months, leading up to me seeing that post,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I felt the same. It just seeing that post only made it official. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
How could you be playing something that you asked to be a part of, and all I'm asking you is to just send me the flyer so I can help you guys, step up the social media presence and to
Okay.
know
So,
more of what's going on, you know? And so when I
so mm-hmm.
when
Go
I
ahead.
seen that now, the first thing that came to my mind is, all this really need. You mean I'm here waiting for you to call me like you normally do after months to say, Wagwan, and to at least have a conversation, right? Because they made it clear on the show that, and everybody knows now that they didn't have a conversation with me leading into this,
Exactly. So this
right?
is why I'm asking you how you feel. Like, were you shocked, blindsided,
Blindsided.
angry? Like,
Because,
what the fuck is going
leading up to
on?
that, right, I already started to think of the avenues and the solutions that we could come up to, knowing that, okay, I've made the heaviest investment in this.
Mm-hmm.
They can't come close to what I've invested in this. But I'm not gonna overlook what they have done for the presence of the brand and
Mm-hmm.
what they were able to put into the brand.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm a big grown ass man, Demar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? All it needed was a phone call, and we could have worked something out. As simple as this, Demara. Even today, this came to my mind,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you guys are making it seem I've been a problem since day one.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you still here? Why were you still here if I was a problem from day one?
Right.
Right? And even if this was your intention, right? There were better ways that you could have came out of this. For instance, this came to mind today.
Of course.
Because at the end of the
So
day,
they
right?
said they had a meeting and a vote, but how can you have a meeting and a vote and the original owner is not in the meeting?
And
That
other members who contributed aren't involved, right?
Yeah.
Because this just dawned on me today, right? And because it's in conflict now, because I'm still gonna represent Brave Star Sound. I am Brave Star Sound,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm not have to tell nobody, I'm not have to ask nobody. Plucky, Brave Star, a Brave Star
Mm-hmm.
Sound. Brave Star is Plucky.
Mm-hmm.
The idea came out of this,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I had no problems being able to just take a back seat, knowing that I am the founding member, and you
Mm-hmm.
guys just continue to do what you were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Utilize the tools that I, myself,
Mm-hmm.
and the other members helped to invest in, and you guys
Mm-hmm.
continue go on, build a name, and make money.
Mm-hmm.
from
And then you would just do what you do from your end, whatever
from
you
my
can.
end, and we keep a communication level. You
Yeah,
get what I'm saying? At the end of the
yeah.
day, everybody could have been happy.
But this is how they went about doing it.
But you decided not to communicate with me, right? You went and told the world that I violated you. And when Jadub asked how Plucky violate, I'm gonna tell the man say because he's petty. How can me wanting to know what's going on with something that I created, right? That you guys are utilizing, and I just want information and material to help it make it even better for you guys, right? Petty. Are you guys dumb? You and I'm saying this, and I'm not this all no, I'm not diss nobody, you know.
Mm-hmm.
In Uno will never find a next owner like me. Because no, I need the people to use Brave Star as an example. Protect what you have, protect what you own. Yes, you can make people a part of it,
Mm-hmm.
right? But sound members, sound owners, selectors, respect people thing, protect your thing. You know what I mean? And you see those of you who are now calling yourself Brave Star International. Remember, I tell you, I mean them Brave Star, I mean them Plucky Digital. I'm me a Brave Star.
Mm-hmm.
Continue doing what you want to do. Me nice, because remember, I'm always a representative. I'm always a represent,
Mm-hmm.
right? And me know the people them with sense, a talk, and some of them even I tell you, say you do the wrong thing, because we could have went about this a
I
totally
called
different
it on
way.
the radio and I said my piece, as I said, differently than all of this. Yaya is a young man that I rate, and, he's very talented. And with all the experience I've had with him, doing business with him and stuff, definitely somebody I enjoy, doing business with. He seems like he have a leadership quality to him.
No,
But
no, no. Me never diss the young man.
yeah,
Never.
but the way how he handled this, or
Mhm.
they handle it collectively, also definitely shows room for growth and actually just educating yourself in the space. People, I've had conversations with people that I actually look up to in the space, and even just creating the book. And these are people that don't own. And again, there's a distinctive difference between what people feel about this. But at this point, it's not about feelings and opinions, it's about facts. And what they did was not kinda, is borderline stealing. It is stealing.
Mhm.
And I'm not here to sit on my high horse, because even as a graphic artist, or just somebody coming up not knowing different, like for example, I used to take pictures of random models and put them on my flyer. That is wrong. That is stealing images. That's stealing people's stuff. And then that's why they have things like stock photos, where you can actually go and purchase models or whatever, pictures of whatever but I'm not supposed to just go on Google, look for a picture and be like, oh, I'm going to add that to my flyer or add that to something that I'm designing. That's why I like AI these days. Like, it makes the designer's job so easy. You just go create an AI model, and there's no reason for anybody to come and say, hey, take my picture off your flyer. But saying all of that to say,
Yes.
there are ways you have to go about doing things. So for me, the first instance where they went wrong is when, one, they went on social media and said that they are rebranding. And I said that to them as well on the show. So just for educational purposes, when you're rebranding an already existing brand, you're either adding to it or changing something about that existing brand. It doesn't mean that it splits in two and we own this part and the original owner have his part. There's a difference. And people branch off all the time, and they create different names. The Anglicans branched off from the Catholics. They didn't split and say that they were Catholics International. They created a whole new identity for themselves. And for me, that would have been the best way moving forward. Or they have a conversation with you. You seem pretty level headed. You actually answered one of the questions that I would have asked later, like looking back, how you would have dealt with this differently, or like even where they're concerned, like if they actually did have a conversation with you about moving forward, like what would you have done? And you already spoke about that. So
And could I add to that?
sure, sure.
Con-
It's your
consider-
interview.
Considering the fact that, like I told you, I've invested into this heavily, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was not the one on stage performing and getting the juggling dates
Okay.
after people knowing about the brand after clashing,
Right.
right?
Right.
They could have
Right.
they could have simply called me, right? And had a conversation, a big man conversation, because that's what they are. They're not kids. And said, "Hey, Plucky, you know what? We're looking to go in another direction eventually, right? I'm already not collecting the money that you guys are getting for juggling dates and stuff like that. They could have used that money to go and create something totally different. And I
Mm-hmm.
could have known about it and don't even care. They could have continued to use the
Because
brand.
there are people who do that. I mean, example, Ricky Trooper and Jaro, he pretty much built Sound Trooper
KB,
built alongside still playing on Kilimanjaro.
KB play for Sound Lion, and
Hmm.
KB still a Bill Sound Bandit,
That's a local example. Yes.
right? And Sound Lion knows that, and it ain't a problem. But
Right.
they want and need KB to play Sound Lion at this moment. There ain't nothing
Right.
wrong with that. Those
Right.
guys could have simply utilized the fact that they're the ones making the money and
Mm-hmm.
build a brand for themselves and then move on.
Mm-hmm.
Something as simple as that. Nothing would have had to change other than them putting down this current brand. This
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
after you have built your own. Are you dumb?
It happens. I mean, eh, it's so many things could have been done differently. And this is why it's very important for people to educate themselves and just treat it as a business.
Mhm.
I think what happened, feelings took over. And like I said earlier, entertainment is a space where a lot of feelings are attached to, because people are taking their own personal human resource. Them exert themselves, them take their money, them blood, them sweat, them tears, sleepless nights. They're investing into something, and then when the shit breaks down, like your feelings are what you have to deal with first. Because I know you probably weren't this calm when it first happened. And it took you a while to get to this place. So I can understand how feelings can make people make the wrong choice, right?
Well,
And um
tell you what, you know, like you said, I wasn't this calm when I first seen the rebrand. But I mean, as time moved on, right? You
oh
know,
god.
you as smart as I am, right, and as anybody else is, because I'm not the only smart guy out there. You just have to make a negative and turn it into
Into a
a positive.
positive.
Because the more attention that I could bring to this, right, the more people are going to be aware of what they need to do for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said before earlier in the interview, people, no shame thing to this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The people that know the truth, the facts, because you didn't even hear all of the facts yet. But at the end of the day, right? Protect your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Use Brave Star's sound as an example. Because I
So
ain't
you definitely feel what they did has brought confusion at first, before they came on the platform, and people like me stepped in and gave our piece, and Rashan, and even Jadab also was and not even Jadab, Warlord, sorry, even when he was speaking to them, he also like kind of pulled them back. um do you think it has resonated with them any bit, or they've realized that what they're doing isn't cool?
give me 1 second there, please.
Okay. Yes, folks, real thing. Just here to big up everybody that's still watching the interview. We're sitting with Plucky Digital of Brave Class Sound. We're talking about ownership. We're also talking about my book, Don't Lose Your Sound, The Owner's Guide to Intellectual Property. Just talking about how things can get to this level and what are some things that we can do to protect ourselves as owners. And even if you join a sound or you become a part of something that's already existing, kind of gives you an idea of how to move, what to expect. But yeah, Fluff is back. We are back to the interview. Yes, Plucky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I was saying, man, there ain't no shame to the game. You know what I'm saying? The more attention that this situation gets,
Mm-hmm.
more the public is going to be, like I'm talking about, people in the sound clash fraternity are going to be
Mm-hmm.
aware and knowledgeable of what they need to do so they don't get themselves in this situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I
Let
mean,
me play devil's advocate
everybody knows
too.
who the real brave star is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the comments I get a lot from people who are non-owners and people who feel like it's sound this is them. It's sound culture, nothing ever is what's the word? Professional, or things don't always go the business route, or it's not that serious. It's sound culture. Like people who don't own songs, that's usually the comment I get from them, and I feel like that's majority. There are not a lot of owners in the space. So um just the other day I saw a situation between Supergirl where Avatar was like also trying to break away from the sound and still maintain Supergirl. And we've seen the Rory Stone Love saga. We've seen the Culture Blend saga. Even with Antigua, we've seen the Real Sound saga, the Everclear saga. Like, given the amount of people in the space, yes, it is not a lot. It's like, I think I call less than 10 situation that has happened over time. But think about it this way too. If you own something or if you're attached to something that's owned by somebody else, some people feel like they're stuck, or they don't know how to move forward because they're attached to this thing and they don't want to lose all the like Plucky said, conversations can be had. Like, you never know until you just sit down with somebody and let them know where you're at. And if you're bringing something to the table like your talent, you can't take that for granted. You there's value in that. That doesn't mean you own the sound, but there's value in it. And I feel like as big men and big woman, because there's sound women, you should be able to sit down and hash things out. Like, there's too much shame and people leave a lot of things unsaid. And I feel like, and I tell you this all the time because you're my brethren outside of this. People don't like people who say what everybody is afraid to say. And I feel like we get the bad rap for that. Oh, you just have a chat, or you know nothing, and you're a fan first. That's how you even started to build your sound. And I feel like that's everybody's story. You're a fan of the music first. So if you really have that passion for it, you're always gonna have something to say. But some people are so afraid to share their thoughts. They don't want to be ridiculed. They want to be blacklisted, or I don't care. Like,
That's all. That's all that it is, man. You know.
you build your thing and you have your beliefs, and you're a fan first. Like, I feel like people take words and comments. It doesn't have to be that serious. Like, people can have conversations. You can disagree. We can agree to disagree. It doesn't have to come down to splitting up. It can work. It's not like both sounds that we're in Canada and you have to contend with that. They're in a totally different space in the world. Like, you can coexist. So let's get down to some more things that I wanted to ask you before we wrap up, because we're getting towards the end. Definitely gone beyond the time we said, but hey, we're splitting in parts, and for the people who really want to learn and understand and do the right thing, you guys will keep on watching. So we already established that you didn't know about it. The way how they did it, was kind of like blind. They blindsided you. You didn't know things could have happened differently if they spoke to you. All right. So, one more thing. It said I was gonna ask you about. Um, Again, it comes from a space of leadership. One thing they said that stuck out to me, and I was just talking about it. They didn't like how you spoke to them. They felt mistreated in a sense. It almost, and I've seen Plucky mode before. um why would they come up with something like that? Or what would happen for them to even say they didn't like how you spoke to them?
Well, to be honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
you see how I am. So I mean,
Yeah.
like I told you, I have a WhatsApp group with them, right? So you get pretty frustrated when you're putting information in the group, information that they need and they could work with. Let me know
Mm-hmm.
what it is. If I
Mm-hmm.
say Mr. Lex is voicing today, 100 US or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm on him, go buy the song. Let me know what it is, the song you guys want. And nobody responds, right? That's not easy to deal with.
Bet you if it was a junior gang. Or
Regardless of who it was, right? The fact that you're not responding,
yeah.
right? It makes it harder for me to deal with you guys because it's something you do. They were doing consistently,
Yeah.
right? So those are that was one of the things that they considered petty.
Mm-hmm.
So when we have to discuss any type of conflict now, we're Sound Clash
Mm-hmm.
fans and sound members, right? We're men. We're always trying to speak louder than each other, right? I'm coming from a barbershop culture where in any conversation that we have in a barbershop, I'm trying to be louder
Bro,
than the guy.
I'm even gonna share something personal. So the other day, my son's dad came to visit, and we were just talking. He's in the sound space or whatever, just having a conversation. And after he left, my cousin was home. She was like, "What were you guys arguing about?" I'm like, "Arguing? What are you talking about? We weren't arguing. We were just talking." But because we were so passionate and like arguing and like, let me not use that, going back and forth and sharing our point of view, I guess it sounded like an argument to her, but we're fine. We weren't arguing. We were just having a discussion. So I get it. Yeah. But again, I think there's an aspect where we also say what a lot of people aren't comfortable saying or would say. So I think that too kind of mixes in with the aggressiveness, and it comes off like, oh, who you think you talk to? But
And,
I get it, and it's
and
nothing personal. I've been
remember the age gap, right? There were
That was something else I was going to get
there
to,
were
but
a
go
lot
ahead.
there were a lot of things that I was telling them,
Mm-hmm.
right? That was for their own benefit. And I mean even outside of sound,
Yeah.
right?
Life lessons,
Life
pretty much.
lessons. Like
Mm-hmm.
I kept telling, and like I said, I should not be afraid to call names. I said, Yaya, the only way you're really going to be able to help the sound is you got to start being able to help yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I worked. Everybody else, every squad worked. Squad was working for APUA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rick Boss was going to school and doing his little thing. So I was even encouraging him to apply himself more. He's a fisherman, right?
Mm-hmm.
I told him like, yo, bro, you know you're out there on the open seas. You're doing a job that a lot of people would even think to go and do. Get
It's
yourself a,
scary out there.
get yourself a GoPro. When you see dolphins and stuff like that, bro, that's content you could post on your social media platform. You could tie that back into your Soulman platform. You know what I'm saying? Everything could connect.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we are in this world now. You could make money off of just creating content. You're out there on the open water, bro. So even me telling him things like that, they overlooked a lot of those things.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
just didn't understand what it is that I was trying to tell them at certain times.
Got you. So next question. So like you said, all of this, like we spoke about in the earlies, everything was intentional, like you actually wanted to do this. However, you were just learning along the way. Fast forward from then to now, 30 odd years later,
Yeah.
as somebody who's led a sound since 1994, from then until now, how would you now move forward with your leadership and describe the skills that you've learned over time? Because I know this is a lot. A lot of what you've explained, it's a lot of people can relate to it. Again, we start this thing out of pure love, then we realize it's a business and we have to assert ourselves as owners, like shed some light on that. Like,
Well, you got to
what have
start.
you learned? Mm-hmm.
What I suggest to people, what I've learned is, I mean, you don't really see this when you start from your hobby, right? But
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to start building a sound today, right, as much as you say you love it, you got to start implementing the business aspects of it, because you can turn it into a business, right? When I was doing it, we were only looking to make the general little money that we seen in front of us, but we weren't really looking at the long vision. Like Soundclash just came a long way. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And if some of the things that I now know, if I kind of knew that they were gonna happen, I would have made those adjustments and done some of those things. Like for instance, when any of those guys in Antigua have asked me to join what me and my friends here created, because I don't have a problem with any of my friends here,
Mm-hmm.
members, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're dealing with people and personalities that you really don't know,
And especially younger people too. Like I feel like
right?
the age gap
Yeah,
also creates a little bit of tension, especially
you wanna
you're as old as their parents for some
mhm,
of them,
yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, right? If I had known any better now, there would have been some paperwork involved, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily to control anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just what I expect and what I need you to expect when you're gonna become a member of the sound, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you decide to depart
Mm-hmm.
as a member of the sound, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like what I took from that interview is that Yaya now himself, when he joined the sound, and him and Bossy and everybody else joined the sound, they didn't have no restrictions, right? But now you kind of learned what it is you needed to learn that I now have learned. Now you want to be putting people under contracts and controlling them, right? You do the right thing. Make sure to contract them, adjust to make sure things are aligned properly. God
Yeah.
bless them.
Basically knowing the contract is knowing your expectations, what is expected of them, and
Yeah,
then what happens if they decide to depart.
yeah.
And I
And
mean, go
well,
ahead.
I mean, I gotta say this, right? Because, like I said, contracts and stuff were things that were on my mind during the time that you guys were doing your thing and everything was going good. But
Mm-hmm.
still, out of the goodness of my heart, right? Because of what I seen because it's always been a discussion on social media. People
Mm-hmm.
joining sound and leaving sound and stuff like that. So you obviously had to think things like that were going through my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But still, at the end of the day, I didn't bring that energy to you guys. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And now that you think that you have what you want to have everybody else under the restrictions that you weren't under. Think about that. You know what I mean? Think about that.
Got you.
But nothing's wrong with it as long as you're putting those things in place to protect the brand
Mm-hmm.
and not,
So
you
I
know
have
what
a
I mean?
hard question to ask now. Kind of along the same lines.
Mm,
For me, this is just how I look at life. Um, Even if you were wronged, you also probably played a role in it.
mhm,
Um, Sometimes we go against our gut. Sometimes we put too much trust in humans.
mhm,
And sometimes too, we kind of like deceive ourselves or we're deluded for some reason, right? In all of this, and again, I'm going to reiterate, how they handled it was definitely wrong. In a business sense, like you can't depart from somebody's brand or business and still try to maintain what you met. Like that's wrong. Some people move forward with it, they're okay with it. Some people don't care. There are a lot of things that happen in the sound space that are wrong and people don't care because it's just all about the hype and talent for some people. However, I also believe in introspection and looking within and seeing where I went wrong. And I know you probably would have mentioned a few times where you felt you should have done things differently, but even up to this point where we are now, what would you say in terms of everything that has happened? What are the areas? I just want you to go over some of the areas. You probably mentioned them before. Anything that you didn't speak on. What are some things that you thought Plucky did wrong when it came on to the youth them and how you were just leading this whole thing? Where did Plucky go wrong?
Well, I have to dig deep to really answer that one still,
Okay, maybe I should simplify the question. Is there anything that you think wholeheartedly that, man, you know what, I shouldn't have said this or done it something this way. I wish I could have done it differently. Maybe, you know, I could have done something differently. Yeah, in that sense. You've covered some things, but I'm just asking you if there's anything else that we didn't discuss where you felt
that I did wrong that I could have
could have
actually.
done differently. Yes, yes.
To, to be honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
maybe any of those voice notes, because
Mm-hmm.
we only really conversated amongst each other, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
on a one-to-one basis or within the group through voice notes,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when they're saying that, why I'm talk to them too hard and this and
Mm-hmm.
that, maybe I should have just talked with the soft and voice note them. To be honest with you, Damara,
Mm-hmm.
know myself. My brethren
Mm-hmm.
in Canada know me.
Mm-hmm.
Who my cousin in England that still has a brave star know me. Dito
Mm-hmm.
Kilovan know me. They
Mm-hmm.
can call, regardless of what Plucky say or how Plucky might look, they can call Plucky and say, oh Plucky, we need your help.
Mm-hmm.
Ask Freshie, ask Dizzy, because I can do the same with them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's not much I would have really changed other than put in structure that we would not end up here.
Okay. And then that little part probably
Because
the aggression.
really and truly, what really makes this bad, right? Because if I really could have done it all by myself
Mm-hmm.
financially, because remember when they came and asked me, right, I had no intentions of building a job box that could compete.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that I always reminded them, Yaya specifically, youth. And if you listen Beer Star dub play to them, you don't think say Yaya part of this song from day one.
Mm-hmm.
So how I style the dub play to them, I make Yaya the general.
Mm-hmm.
Yaya squad, brick boss, right? Those things I would not change. But what the only thing I would really change is the financial structure of it. Because if I could have really do it by myself, because remember from day one, I was a barber.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you guys it's not gonna be easy because dub plate expensive.
Everybody knows that. That's one of the reasons I don't even fully commit to being a clash sound or like rundown
right?
clashes because one, me, I'm a woman. I have no ego. I don't give a fuck. Like I can't take a trophy to the bank. If I'm gonna make some money, I'm gonna take care of home first before I go. I'm a girl, so I get it.
So,
It's
like
not
I
easy.
said, really and truly, everything was really going the way how I wanted it to go because I did not move back from my plan.
Mm-hmm.
I always tried to make sure I get at least 3 songs on any rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, I was cutting strategically,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because if you listen to Brave Star Dub Box, we don't have every song on a rhythm or whatever, but we can at least play 3 songs on a rhythm, unless it's a single song or whatever. So a lot of the things that came out of my head, blueprint, right? of how we could have built this sound from a 45 dub plate
Mhm.
clash sound to an all dub clash sound, which we can now take on some small all dub clashes.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll build the box quick and fast, just like Taj. Taj, big up yourself, because you did it at Rootless Savage, and then you went and did it at Ancient King. Them you gonna realize what it really takes to build one little dub box in such a
Mhm.
short space of time. Okay? So with saying that, if I could have really done it by myself, right?
Mhm.
You guys would have still been the general them on the ground in Antigua.
Okay.
You would not have been able to have done what you did now because you would have had no choice but to just walk away.
Yeah, I feel like they were doing pretty good. Even in the protocol, again, the same night that Yaya played. It was 50 caliber, right?
Yeah.
So, and it would have been his first time emceeing. I said to myself, the only thing I would change different about that night, they played too many dubs against a sound that didn't have much dubs. Like it
And
was, it
let
was
me tell you a story.
overkill,
Within our group, right? That
and
was
it was very close.
that was one of the criticisms coming from our whole team.
So I
And
guess
Yaya didn't like that.
Gringo used that against them. Like
Thank you.
he used his psychology against the crowd for make them know that yeah, and really all dub plate thing now, like. And he
Damara.
just the man played a 45 with Vibes Cartel saying a 50 caliber. He's like free dub plate.
So
It
you
was so funny.
want me to show you something now?
Yeah.
Yaya was the one that wanted to play all those dubs in that clash. When I asked Squad what happened in the clash, right? Squad said, Plucky, we not even did want to play all of them dub play.
No.
Because I knew it would work against us because it would look like we're showing off. I knew it. And these are some of the things that we told them. You, in the dub plate and 45 clashes, figure out a way to play more 45s. And they never listened to us.
Because that's also, especially if you go up against a very good MC, that can be your sole point because look for Armor go into Woodalley Island Clash and play all 45 and win.
Right? Being able to play 45s and win a clash is the real
Shows
test.
more, yes, it shows more skill than
Because you
actually
cannot hide
having the
behind your
tune to back
ego,
you
which
up.
is money.
Unless your tune is exceptionally well written and rewritten and it's a nice custom, like everybody dub plate sound the same, bro.
Same. Right?
Again, like why am I paying five? But that's y'all game. I'm a be a girl in y'all's world, and I will enjoy from the sidelines, living vivaciously through the sound man. I tell them this all the time, like I did great. Even when it comes on to like sending my money away for dubs, like I was burnt once, and I even burnt in the sense of sending it and not getting my song. Sending it and not getting my song in time for the clash. So meaning even lose money, but I've lost time. And it's like not me. How me can send me for me money? I don't know when me get back on dub. Who
Can I say
does?
can I say something else on
We
that too?
all have a lot of heart.
Can I say something else on that too?
Yes.
Right? And it's just facts. Because the people need to know the facts different from what was already presented.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Remember, Plucky was a barber before we turned a construction worker. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And during the course of that time, tomorrow I get one opportunity to save some money for buy my first property in Canada, for buy a house, to put my family in it. And during
I
the
would
course of
choose
that
that
time,
over
right?
some dubs.
During the course of that time, right? I kept telling the whole team, and I had Yaya, and I keep having to say Yaya specifically because Yaya is the one that I had the most conversations with. I say
You
you,
hear the general in Antigua, hear the
thank
man,
you,
the
and
plan on the
I
ground.
showed him, and I said, yo, I'm
Yes.
saving up to buy a house, so I'm not going to be able to continue doing what it is that I do for the team. So I think even that was even part of what helped them to make their decision. But when I really look at it, right?
But you gave them something to build on. They cannot, and they should not. I can't say cannot because they did, but they should not take that lightly.
Thank you.
You're looking at 30 years versus what? where's it, 2019, 2021, 2020, 24, 25, and just learned this year.
Mm-hmm.
7 to 8 years versus it would have been, you would have been 20 something years in already
Mm-hmm.
when they joined. It's not comparable. Like, they would have never had anything if it weren't for you and your crew in Canada. Like,
Right.
even outside of business, there's just a level of principle and ethics that you apply to a situation like that. Like, if it wasn't for them, man, wouldn't we our day to day? So even if me hate this man, or this man not talk to me good and he treat her bad, not saying that that's what happened, not putting that on the record. I'm just saying, if you felt that type of way, the the noble thing to do again goes back to have a conversation. You don't just cut and then go with their name. Like, it is wrong.
Because even during all the times where you're saying, I talk to you guys rough and this and that, when my forward to Antigua, I who my draw for touch road and say, yo, make a roll. Yeah, yeah. Come on, bro.
So
Be real, bro.
we're wrapping up. These guys would have invested monies into the song, and that's also an argument that a lot of people tend to take with them when there's some sort of split happening. And me don't spend money pan dub. Was it a situation where, because I also understood that they did a couple clashes
Mm-hmm.
as Brave Star sound with the dubs that you invested in and bought and have won or have had bookings. Was it a case where they were using those funds to put back into the song, or they've actually like gone in their pocket beyond whatever they would have won or gained from bookings to put anything back into the song? What was their contribution like financially?
Well,
Because that needs to be clear as well.
well, let me lay it out on the table for you, right? Brave Star, you could say Brave Star was involved in four signature clashes in Antigua. Protocol Badness,
And that probably.
right? Let me name it out. Protocol
Mhm.
Badness,
Mm-hmm.
at this
April,
time, then
April,
April Crucifixion,
mhm.
right?
And then the King of Country.
That was way after. Remember, there was
Oh,
April Crucifixion again.
okay.
That was the last time with Landmine.
Okay.
It was not up until I remember April Crucifixion, right, with versus 50 caliber. That was after the King of the South when they won the 10,000 EC. That's the biggest
Mm-hmm.
money they ever won,
Mm-hmm.
right? So before that clash, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would say leading up to that clash was they probably made their biggest contributions
Mm-hmm.
towards the dub box.
And what year was this?
2024.
Oh, just like 2 years ago. Okay.
And King of the South happened December 2023.
Mm.
So they were able to use that to really contribute. But prior to that, yes, they were still putting in their little money here and there, but that was mainly because Squad was working,
Okay.
right? And they had the karaoke gig. So a lot of the money from karaoke, right? I don't know how it was managed. So I can't tell you whether they used that. But I do know a lot of Squad's personal money was being used at one point.
So again, something that we need to look at as members. You are investing into something that you believe in, and we still have to understand that it has an owner,
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you're using your money, but it has an owner. Like, even protect yourself. Like, if a promoter come to me for do something, I'm giving him a contract. I am protecting myself.
Mm-hmm.
So even as a member, and you're going to take your monies or whatever, you keep records, definitely. And you have in the back of your mind, like, this isn't my song. So like, if it don't work, or if something happens, we're gonna have to talk. We're gonna have to talk to the owner about, what I expect, or like.
At first,
Yeah.
all those four clashes
Uh-huh.
was me, the promoter linked. And during any negotiation, I was relaying information back to them
To them.
to see
Okay.
that they were comfortable with what numbers those guys were putting out. So at no
Okay.
time did I ever agree
Mm-hmm.
on anything
Mm-hmm.
for them.
Okay.
No time.
Because it goes both ways. Like you're the owner, but you also you and your team have to be on the same page. You have
Yeah.
to be on the same page with the team. And again, you were never paid upfront for any gigs or anything that they've done. It went to them.
To them, and it was up to them to decide to take whatever they wanted out of that to contribute to whatever they wanted to buy song wise.
Okay.
The only thing that I've ever said from jump is when you guys, if you guys make $100, put aside a 20 or whatever you can.
So me being again a business head. So do
Mhm.
you think the money that they have contributed to buy tunes have exceeded the monies they've gotten in prize monies and bookings monies? Does it exceed that?
What they've received in bookings and prize
And
money
prize money, yeah.
has exceeded what?
The contribution has the contribution that they've made to the song
Hmm.
have that gone beyond what they've made from the song?
No,
Okay.
at no time.
Okay. So you think they've definitely earned a fair payout
By
versus
utilizing
the
the
money
brand,
that they've put in.
by utilizing the brand and the upfront
Yeah,
investment
yeah.
that was being
Mm-hmm.
made before they were able
Mm-hmm.
to start making
Yep.
investments themselves.
Yep. So you think they've been fairly compensated?
Yeah,
Okay.
and they could have continued to be fairly compensated, right, to this day, because I was not asking for anything other
From
than
them using their
other
brand,
than you
from them
guys
using the brand.
replenishing the brand, helping to replenish the brand.
Okay.
Because remember, I was now starting to getting ready to utilize the brand again. So
Okay.
monies could have been coming in from all avenues for everybody to continue helping to replenish and use the brand. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? At no point did they ever send me any earnings from any Clash booking or a regular
Did
booking.
you ever feel like you were owed or you didn't care what
I,
they did?
I didn't care because I
Okay.
realized at the end of the day,
You
I'm,
can't pay
I'm
them, so
old. How long am I really going to be able to talk about, oh, I kill myself and talk about me, I'm going to prepare for Sound Clash. And with what I know, remember,
mm-hmm.
all of this happened within the last 5 to 7 years where I
Mm-hmm.
had this plan in my head. Yes, man, build my little catalog, but I'm looking to put my family in a house. And with what I now know financially,
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow, then look, it's even spend all of that money they're not up with.
How much percentage of the sounds dub plates would you attribute to them?
Less than 10%.
Okay.
And I can
Fair.
say that proudly.
Okay.
Facts. Less
Based
than
on what you know
10%.
was cut before they felt to split.
Yeah.
Based on what you know they have. Okay.
Yeah. Because at times they were getting 30, 50 songs that they didn't even know they had for a clash. Come with us, I cut the song them, but they didn't have them. Of them. But when we're done mix, I have to send off 30, 40 songs.
So you mix down all the songs yourself,
Myself.
along with working construction and like having being a full-time dad and a husband.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot on one person. Like a lot of people don't get it. I was just having a conversation with one of my brethren last night, and he was like, "Yo, in order for you to be like fully immersed in sound, you have to eat, shit, breathe, sleep. Like you have to do it every day, and it's just not feasible.
Even just to
Niggas
be,
gotta work. You
even just to
gotta
be a
work.
regular juggling selector.
People have families.
The time you have to spend to download music
Yeah,
and organize
it's a lot.
crates, it's a lot.
And I know for sure people get neglected in the space if and it sounds bad sometimes, but if not even in sound culture, once you're an entertainer and you're somebody that's constantly being requested on and you're putting yourself out there, if you have a family, if you have other responsibilities, they are going to get neglected.
Yeah.
It's no, it even have to be in song culture. Just anything that requires you to be out there, anything in the public space, it's a lot. So I get it. Just winding down, just a few more questions. Let's finish talking about ownership. You'd say definitely, and we were just saying that, and I guess we pretty much answered the question I was going to ask. So just because somebody invests their own money into a song, it doesn't mean that they own it, and you would agree with that, right?
Yep.
Unless you have a conversation saying, "Hey, me invest so and so, you have to give me part ownership." I mean, that also can be a deal for people later down the road. Somebody want to recruit you, you invest into something. You put paperwork for being like part owner.
Mm-hmm.
Something,
like what me and you discussed previously. You kind of have to balance out how much did you really contribute versus how much did you
what
really
you meant,
benefit from, right?
how much you,
How much you
that
made.
as well.
Like think about all those booking dates, right? Even if you as an individual didn't get all of the money, say it's 5 of you guys. Me as an individual that spent that upfront money, I didn't get it. I didn't get the full return on what I spent the full investment on. You know what I'm saying? And they've had a lot of booking dates.
So, do you think people in the culture take ownership and brand protection seriously enough? We've been talking about this. It's a no-brainer.
No, they don't.
Or only when something goes wrong, they actually do take it serious, or if it's happening to them also. Because I'm telling you,
for those that start and kind of see the vision, right? Like, I'm not from Jamaica, but I could see it. Sound culture is ingrained there. When a man has a sound in Jamaica, it's not just for show. I'm sure that's registered because it's a business. People are booking that out, even if it's just a system. In foreign North America,
I can give you a very good example. Mighty Crown.
Yeah.
They own their name. They've trademarked it. You can't take Mighty Crown name and put on anything to anything. They would have all rights to sue you, pretty much. Yeah.
A lot of, like, if people really knew what sound culture was, right? Apart from just having a MacBook and really not having a physical sound, even if they have a physical sound, right? A lot of them still ain't doing what the culture really entails, right? Which one on can make a rhythm? Which one on actually produce a song? Not for don't even mix on own dub plate, but on call themselves sound man. Remember, King Jammies is a sound, but it's a record label. Scorpio is a sound, but it's a record label.
In recent years, I saw King Addies trying to go down that road with True Money Music, and they were actually making songs with artists, Baby Doll, and Currency.
So to finish off the interview, right? You know, a lot of you guys are faking it because nothing can't even chop and rebuild a rhythm, much less make one from scratch. But
you see, this is the plucky mode we've been talking about. It's coming up.
So yeah, I'm not dissing anybody, but
I know, I'm not saying that. You're just talking your mind. Yeah.
So I've really pushed my talent into my sound, right? Tomorrow I'm gonna make you hear it.
So guys,
when Yaya heard this rhythm, right? I didn't even have any plans to put that plates on. I was just trying to learn how to build a rhythm. He was like, hey, look.
Let me turn it down. All right, go ahead now.
So what I was saying, right? When I built this rhythm, right, I had no intentions. Because I know the people that love to say, oh, Plucky. The people that must say, you love put song from your old rhythm and some trumpet rhythm, right? When I was learning to build rhythms, right, when I was actually on YouTube figuring the thing out, I recreated this rhythm, right? This is from the D Brown Revolution, Barrington Levy, Black Roses, right? So I today I give the rhythm a name, because I know said, boy, I'm going to use it on the interview. So I decided to fuse the two names and just call it the Black Revolution rhythm. Because up until then, it
Nice.
was just in my cat in my Serato as Brave Star question mark question mark.
So that name is so funny. I just to make the interview light, and I know these are people that you've come across in the space. So I used to call Black Chariot Black Revolution when Clinton would select for. Oh my goodness.
I forgot about that, and the fact that you mentioned those two names is even so much more. I like you
Yes,
know I'm
that,
on, you know I'm on.
yeah, the irony. Well, yeah, that's
Yeah,
funny.
Black
Yeah,
Revolution rhythm, Brave Star,
nice. Yeah,
Plucky
it's
Brave
good.
Star.
It's definitely good. I'm like, yo, you might as well use one of your rhythms to play in the background than just use somebody else's.
The
Like
point of being a
let's use
sound
it. It's there.
and and to stand out is to be different. You can't go
Yeah.
and cut on the same rhythm everybody else is using.
Because everybody dubs pretty much 80% of the time are cut the same way, and so like they're the same way. So you now
Same
have to
songs.
figure out a way to differentiate your tune
Mhm.
from the others, because there's
You,
just so many sounds playing the same thing.
you could only really do that by way of maybe rhythm nowadays because with these
And
dub
also having a
programs,
very good MC too.
with the dub
Like,
programs, the artists don't really want to put in the work to sing what you wrote.
and also having a good MC.
Yeah, that
Because the way
too.
how you intro your song and just time, place, relevance, it you have to have a very good MC.
Yeah.
And not just talking, they have a witty and pan top of them game. So yeah, it goes hand in hand. Okay, so we're just wrapping up. Y'all heard the rhythm, the Black Revolution rhythm. You have to give them uncut man, and then put some of them dubs on
No,
it.
then say I bear E that rhythm you use, so then I want it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Let me not get into that.
So me go and use it.
All right. I mean, we're wrapping up and we're going towards a resolution. You really spoke earlier on it. I pretty know what your answer is going to be. But just to end off the interview with clarity at where, both entities stand,
Yeah.
let me ask you this. Do you think this is a situation do you think that this situation is something that could ever be resolved or repaired? Or is that chapter closed in your mind? And I'm going to ask you this because I know you were angry weeks ago. And even today, you told me stuff was like coming to you still about how you felt about this whole situation. People minds change. So
Well,
could ever be repaired.
at this current stage, based on how this situation unfolded, right? I felt that I've done no wrong, people. And
Mm-hmm.
the solution,
Mm-hmm.
the answer for the solution is the
Yeah.
same, right? That we could have used for the prevention,
Mm-hmm.
which is a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like the first time, when you messaged me and asked me which dub plate, if you have any dub plate that you not have, that not mixed down yet. After
Mm-hmm.
not calling me for months, so you didn't have to call me back. Right? You didn't have to go this way. Right? You could have simply picked up your phone and called me and said, yo, this is the situation. What are we gonna do? Right? You guys could have continued utilizing Brave Star sound and make money, meanwhile building your own name, and I would have had no problem with it. You know what I'm saying? But because you want to make me look bad, and because you really don't understand certain situations and life in general, right? You allow people to advise you to go and do the wrong thing. So, like I said before, all it needed was one phone call, and we didn't have to reach here, right? And I'm gonna let the public know this. I'm not gonna be the one to make the phone call.
Got you. Fair. So a question popped in my mind, and it wasn't even something I thought about asking, and it just popped out. So maybe I shouldn't ask it.
No,
Let
man,
me see.
ask it.
Um, You say it can take one phone call and you're not going to be the one to make it. That's fair enough. Um, do you think that yes, now I remember my question. Yes. So you're a very opinionated guy, and I am a very opinionated person as well. I feel like that's where we connect a lot of the time, because you be saying some shit, and I'd be like, I was thinking that, well, you said it, and then for me, I used to be that a lot in the earlier stages of my career, but now I've kind of like eased off because there is backlash attached to it. It comes with a certain level of drama, and ain't nobody got time for that. Well, at least me. Not everybody has time for that. Do you think that you have to be a likable person to survive in the song culture world? Do you feel like you have to watch how you say things and what you say to be accepted?
I mean, it all depends on what you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look, you don't want to be famous.
Okay.
Because being famous comes with a lot of problems,
Okay.
right? Yeah, someone an auntie will have to say, boy, me never hear about you at Canada. Tell them to walk in on Soundclash dance with me at Toronto, Canada. And you'll see how much people hail me. And not everybody ever hail me, but the people that will know me,
Mm-hmm.
I love Soundclash,
Mm-hmm.
will hail me. The people
Mm-hmm.
that will know so me I do this for a long time, not just the new faces, them are gonna hail me.
So basically, you're saying it just depends on how far you want to get, and you feel like people adjust, they're very performative or adjust their personality to get to a certain height. Do you think
Well,
that that's what's happening?
based on how I've observed things that I've said and
Mm-hmm.
typed that people don't like, I
Mm-hmm.
know that it affects me
Mm-hmm.
because I've been told by the members that don't support me regardless of what I say. Even
Mm-hmm.
though they want to claim they're saying team, told me that the things I say affects them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
I mean, it affects the brand, but
The
to
brand.
affect them personally, I don't see that happening. But I mean,
Only,
granted, they
it
are a
only
part of
affects
the
me
brand.
because they still get the support they need to
Mm-hmm.
get when it's clash
Mm-hmm.
time.
Exactly. So that's
And
what
they
I'm
only use
saying.
that as an
It
excuse. So
doesn't affect them directly.
to really answer your question, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, being famous comes with a lot of
Expectations.
expectations,
Mm-hmm.
right? I never expected to get famous from this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm still not famous from this.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know if you want to be in certain people's circle or whatever, there's certain things that you possibly can't say or do. You know, I in everybody's circle. So I'm going to continue saying and doing the things that I choose to say and do.
Yes, you remind me of me when I was just soldiering through like the early years of my career. Like I still say what I have to say. It is if it's worth it for me at the time and the place. So I definitely get what you mean. I'm not in this to be quote unquote famous or like the best or it's a journey. I love music. I love people. I'm a true techie at heart. Like I'm a big geek.
Yes, you
I
are.
love gadgets and things like that. So this is how I got into this space really because of my interest in music and technology. But to say that I want to be I want to be known, or like nobody does anything for nothing. You build your brand, but it's not to the point where I have to silence myself or pretend or keep my mouth closed all the time,
I've,
I've
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 gotten
I've
myself.
challenged the biggest of bullies. I remember being on dancehallreggae.com, and there was this guy that played Tech Nine, a big fat stocky guy. He was a bad MC on the song. He died
Mm,
actually. I don't know if you remember. I can't remember his name.
parlay or something.
No, Parley was Generations. But this guy played for Tech Nine. This fat, huge,
You sure
heavy
that
set.
was his name?
No, Parley
Did
played
he
for
pass on too?
Generation Sound. Hmm?
Didn't he pass on
Yeah,
too?
but Parley did pass, and condolences and rest in peace,
Okay.
Parley. Actually, I met Parley on Dancehall Reggae
Okay.
.com too. My first time clashing in Brooklyn. He
Mhm.
took us around the city. He took us to the dance. He took us back to our train so we could go back to the Bronx because we were staying in the Bronx, Ebony and I. Yeah, Parley, a real youth man. But I forgot this guy's name. But yeah, he was a bully and like he was mean on the mic. He was a very good MC. And
Mhm.
me don't kick it off with him. Pan dance reggae to the man start tell me, oh, me can't step foot in Brooklyn and all kind of stuff. I say, well, at least I know if you try to run after me, I'll outrun you because they can't catch me. Like me not allow people for style me easily in this space because what I've noticed too, knowing what I know, all of us are human. Nobody's perfect. Everybody have their little skeletons here and there. A lot of it is very performative. They act a certain way on stage. It's a job. You're working. You're entertaining folks, and they're totally opposite when it comes down to their personal life. And that's none of my business really, but I'm just saying that to say it pays to be yourself. But some people are okay with doing what they have to do to be famous because that's what they want, and it's okay. That's okay too, but that shouldn't stop anybody from wanting to be authentic and being themselves. Might cost you a few dates, some friendships, some ratings, but at least you're yourself, and you can only be comfortable in being yourself. Yeah.
True.
All right. So we spoke about doing things differently, and I'm not going to even ask you that because we went over that already. But in closing, right? What's one thing out of this whole debacle? One thing every DJ, sound owner, or creative needs to understand about protecting what they build. Just one thing, one lesson you've learned out of this entire stuff. Let me see. I'll share mine, but let me see if me and you are on the same page. One thing.
So you want me to go first?
Yeah.
One thing that I've learned from all of this,
Mm-hmm.
ah,
I know it's a lot, but just
yeah. So to pinpoint
start.
one thing, like to be honest with you, to how
Mm-hmm.
to love it,
Mm-hmm.
right? I would have had to love it a different way
Mm-hmm.
because based on the money that I know that I spent,
Mm-hmm.
even with the formula that I had,
Mm-hmm.
and I think a lot of sound owners
Mm-hmm.
know this,
Mm-hmm.
they'll never see back that money in profits,
Yeah. It's a
right?
passion project. However, when you get to a certain place in life,
Yeah.
you do it in a way where it doesn't take away from what you're dealing with in real life.
Yeah. So, you know, the one thing that really, because I would always go back and, if I had the opportunity to do it all over again, I would
Mm-hmm.
have a sound, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the business structure of it,
Okay, definitely
to apply,
consider the business structure
to
of it.
really apply,
It is
really apply
paramount.
rules.
And it's not, as I said, everybody goes into it. Every owner knows that they've probably spent more than most people have spent more than they're ever going to get back. But the idea of actually doing things the correct way and allowing like a smooth, well, nothing is ever not smooth, and shit always happens, but it creates an environment of understanding, and nobody ever really doesn't know what's expected of them in a sense. And once you can create an environment like that, it can thrive. And like I said, nothing is ever perfect. Things happen. So which would go into what I think there's one thing I would try to foster is good communication and good human relations. I feel like apart from building a good business and signing all this paperwork, and it's just living good with people and understanding that even though we disagree, there's a way of there is a way of dealing with things where both parties can still feel like they're on, not even on the same page, because sometimes you grow apart too, but you've been heard and things are fair, you know. um yeah, so that for me, one thing I think people should take into consideration is, yes, fostering good communication on both ends and fostering good relationships, because at the end of the day, we are all a part of this because of one mission, the brand, Brave Star Sound, Sister Soldiers, um, let's use our friends' brands, the Revolutions, and Stonewall. Like, we're all a part, we want to rep this entity to the best of the ability that we can. So we cannot allow our relationships to sever the hard work that we put into the brand. Like, people go up on stage and tell people suck their mother. Like, why am I going to be offended if I have a disagreement with my teammates? Like, we can talk through it, we can work on it. I mean, I don't ever think it's that serious unless people are threatening lives and saying, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you," or like being very disrespectful. Fine, but some miscommunication, like feeling a type of way, like I feel definitely communication should definitely be considered. Proper communication. Nobody should be afraid to say what's on their mind, because nobody can bang anybody. Big people are we.
Less feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't have them, but you don't let them cloud your judgment to the point where you're shooting yourself in the foot.
And if
Yeah.
if you're gonna try to work as a team,
Mm-hmm.
right? You you gotta be willing to disclose some information. You don't have to divulge all your personal information. But
Mm-hmm.
you cannot, especially in my situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you have your personal little issues going on the side,
Mm-hmm.
totally different from sound, and
Or
you're
your priorities.
or your
Sometimes it's not even
priorities, and you're dealing with
issues.
that,
Your
right?
priorities.
You have to understand. I understand that, right? But you can't make that be an excuse as for the reason why you weren't communicating.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? I
If
understand
you're
that
part of a
with
team.
your personal life. Just pick
Mm-hmm.
up the phone and or send a message and say, "Yo, right, I'm gonna kind of go through or deal with something."
Yeah, people are
That's,
depending on you.
that's
Yo,
it.
I cannot stress that enough. That's a very good point. Even as a owner, like,
Because that's what I try to do.
even as a leader of Sister Soldiers Zone, I try my best to, at least with the people who are active, because I'm not going to front and be like, I'm calling Ita and Safi in Spain and
Yeah.
Ebony in St. No, but the people who are active, I try my best to keep them in the loop. I'm always on the only thing that I did not share with them, and I'm going to be open, was that I was writing this book. Like, I was so compelled to do it. I just did it and then shared it with them. And I didn't even I shared it with you before I
Hmm.
shared it with them, because
The situation,
your
right?
situation, again, just out of courtesy. And I let you know, like, yo, like, what I'm trying to help you with here, it's motivating me to put something together. So it's like, I had to tell you, like, I don't want you to feel like I'm piggybacking off of your unfortunate situation with the members or ex-members. Hopefully something can happen. But yeah, the members of Brave Star Sound, it's like we can come together and make a positive out of it, and and shed some light. One hand wash the other. It's not just about me. And it helps the wider sound culture, and even the people who have businesses that are like into sound culture and looking on. Pretty sure a lot of them have ideas or have their own businesses, and we just can spread the word in that way.
Right.
So yeah. Thank you so much for your time though. Before we move on with the closing remarks and stuff, is there anything that I didn't ask you about Brave Star moving forward? And anything that you just want to share about Brave Star Sound, the business, the entity, like anything that I didn't ask that you want to share, now is your time to do that. And then also big up your current crew. And yeah, the people who are watching, if you want to give them a shout out, you can do that one time too.
Well, first of all, I want to tell you thank you, for understanding the situation because the first thing you said to me is that, one hand could help wash the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with your book coming out, that's supposed to educate sound man,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or sound personnel, people that own.
I'm also thinking about doing audio because one of my friends like, y'all know them some man ain't gonna read that shit.
Yeah.
Like you're better off recording the book and making an audio and letting them listen to that shit. Then if they want the book to like hold on for like a guide, they can always go back and refer to it. But yeah, I think I'm going to do the audio. That was a very good suggestion. But go ahead.
Yeah, so like I'm saying, I was very grateful for being able
Amen.
to utilize your platform because it's only going to
Yeah.
help my platform because Bravestar was and is the platform that they use to become known within
Mm-hmm.
this thing that we call Sound Clash,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
really
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it, right? I just want to continue bigging up the whole of the Antigua Sound Clash fraternity from Stonewall, Exorcist, you know what I mean, Poison Dart, Landmine, you know what I mean? I'm gonna call everybody name, you don't know, the whole fraternity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I say a one brave star, and I know say a one brave star. I'm gonna go and know it, right? I have many social media platforms and I will continue to promote the brand that I created out of my head.
So,
One,
are there any dates for you in Canada? Are you thinking about
no,
juggling or doing like any private events, showers, birthday parties, wakes? Like,
well,
what's your plan moving forward as Plucky?
I still own two Yorkville speakers. One is
Mm-hmm.
currently down by Dizzy's house. One was
Mm-hmm.
in use last week at one of my friend's 50th birthday parties,
Nice.
right? With my controller. We didn't
Mm-hmm.
have to go to the rental place and get a little sound because I have
Mm-hmm.
a sound. So if anybody does need a little DJ, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean, to do a wedding or a party or whatever, they might not consider me, but they'll get the job done. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And as for
And
and moving on,
mm-hmm.
I'm open to anything, but trust things are going to be in place to
Okay.
protect not only the brand, but who wants to be a part of the brand.
Okay, so that was the next question. Closing. Membership. Would you be open to add new members? Like if somebody reaches out again, or even if you see somebody that's promising, do you see yourself adding anybody new to the sound at this point, or are you just gonna chill and build for a while?
At this point, based on how I see things and what I've seen or how I've seen certain
Mm-hmm.
young selectors develop by just joining a sound or whatever, because things have changed from the time that we joined the sound. We really studied what it is that we're getting into. We
Mm-hmm.
want to listen to old music and
Mm-hmm.
all of that stuff. So unless I really see somebody that's on that path,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Well, somebody that's on that path approaches you.
Approach it. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you. That's the only formula that I'll work with right now. But as for myself, I'm a little catalog.
Mm-hmm.
The dub plate them can rotten. I'll make use of them, right?
Okay.
Just stay posted to all my social media platforms, and you're gonna hear Braystar, the real Braystar.
All right. So, guys, there we have it. That was Plucky Digital of Bravestar, owner, one of the founding members. And we just spoke about a lot of stuff, but basically, ownership in a nutshell, a lot of do's and don'ts, his personal experience, sprinkled with a little bit of my knowledge and what I know is the right and legal thing to do in a situation like this. So, just take heed. So I just want to close off by saying, this conversation is bigger than just one song. I mean, I know we're sitting here with Brave Star. Like I said, it happens. It can happen to anybody. Some people might feel stuck. They don't know which way to go. They don't want this person on their song no more, but they don't know how to tell them, or vice versa. Me want to come off of this smaddy song, but I don't know how to. There people are at odds and probably don't know how to deal with stuff moving forward. So this book is the book for you if you're trying to go in that direction. I hope that me and Plucky would have enlightened you guys some. But the biggest lesson out of all of this, we need to protect what we build. Intellectual property, our ideas, the thing that comes out of our mind, even though they're not tangible, even though other people can't physically see our ideas, they morph into things that definitely are valuable,
A lot
and
of
we have to protect it. It's a must. It's paramount.
because it becomes like wasted energy, you know?
Yeah, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Anything can happen, and even with this, like, it made me look at my brand and how I do things. And I mean, I don't really have, not even really, I don't have issues with my girls. I am very open, and they're very comfortable with my leadership, so I'm grateful for that. But definitely it did make me look at things in terms of when we pass on, when we get older, like what happens to sister soldiers? Are we going to start recruiting new members? Like, there's so many things that you have to consider when being in this space. So it made me think about that too. We're 20 years in. I'm 37. I've been doing this since I'm 17.
A long
So
time.
it's like, yeah, I mean, one of our youngest members, she's like in her 20s, mid 20s. So we have a very good, solid selector. So we probably might be looking for an MC in the future. And these are things I have to think about, because every person that has joined Sister Soldier's song, it was an organic move. We were friends. And then even with our newest member, she was just leaving high school and we were playing on a radio station together. And she approached me and she's like, I love what you girls are doing. Can I be a part of this song? She was just 16. Now she a big woman and she's still with us. So we must be doing something right. So
Right?
yeah, there are ways you have to handle things and do things. And I'm happy that we could have this conversation today. Hopefully if it only helps one person, that's fine. They love to say sound man ignorant and then the K and then go wait till something happen. It's like, excuse my excuse my comparison, but it's like going out there and fucking a ton of bitches without a condom and hoping that you don't catch something. It's like,
Until it actually happens.
until it happens, like, damn, she gave me something. So you have to protect yourself. You must. And then even when you do that, like, you're even motivated more to do things that, even if you don't make back all the money you spend, you can make a pretty decent extra stream of income doing something, printing 2 shirts and selling them. Like you mentioned, them guys were doing karaoke. Or you hire like a PA system and you're doing like a birthday party or something.
So many
There
things.
were-
So many things. I mean,
yeah,
you have your little sound, right? And a family member comes up with an idea or an event where they actually need a sound now. That could be a business merger right there. You both need,
yeah.
it.
And for those who are even thinking about getting into the space too, a lot of people say it don't make sense now, especially if you're clashing. You might as well just join a song or invest in a song. That's for clashing. But overall, playing music, if you're looking to jump into it, a DJ, selector, like, these are the steps that you take to protect yourself, especially if you're talented. Because once you start getting there and you lay the foundation, it's only up from there.
Like
So
right now, the sound clash industry and this whole music thing, being DJs and all that, is somewhat oversaturated. And I think a lot of people don't really see an avenue for them to continue making money, right? Because there's so many people, but there's still so many ways.
and there's still so much growth to be had.
Yeah.
I think everybody's just doing the same thing and
Right.
expecting different results. Like,
Like
You
there is
really,
going to be a market for online clashing because
yeah,
at some point I'm not going to want to leave my house and go stand up for 20-minute rounds
yeah.
if I still like Clash when I'm 60. You know what I mean?
And that's where the streaming comes in.
Yeah. So that still needs to be developed as well too.
Yes.
And as much as you guys are trying to fight it, AI is coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would
So
really love to see a sound clash with just all AI dub plays, just to judge creativity. Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to creativity and how you could present that creativity. Keep that in mind, guys.
one second, I just got a message. My son is giving a fit. Yes. Back to what you were saying. I'm so sorry. Yes. Um so there we have it, folks.
Mhm.
Just want to say thanks again to everybody that locked in. Look forward to the book. Don't Lose Your Sound, An Owner's Guide to Intellectual Property. It pretty much breaks down um how to go about protecting your brand. It gives you the steps that you need to take. It's very simple. It's only 15 pages for those of you who actually like to read. And yes, look out for the audio version. I'm going to try and record it sometime this week for those of you who want to listen rather than read. And yeah, there we have it. So, just want to say big up to the whole of the Sister Soldiers crew, MC Stepper, Safi, Kyla, Ita, Ecstasy, Ebony, Brandon, Ria, everybody that's contributed to us being where we are for today for the past 20 years. It's a big deal. We celebrate 20 years on the 26th of April, and the book will be dropping on that day. So, Plucky, thank you again for your time.
Welcome,
Thanks for
everyone.
sharing, and we'll catch up.
All right.
And definitely, to those of you who are listening, just subscribe. If you're watching on the Brave Star platform, make sure you subscribe. If you're watching on the Sister Soldiers Hub platform, make sure you subscribe. All right, we're out. Bye.
Peace.
Mm-hmm.
One brave star.
Mm-hmm.